want to show you that good life, baby. You got my heartbeat beating inside me lately. I'm watching your lips move, can't hear a word you're saying. 'Cause I want to do things to drive you crazy. We got one chance and I want it badly. Do you feel like it's going the right way? Do you know what you're doing inside me? If you want that, then bring that vibe. You got me, I'm dreaming about it. If you like that, then we can go around it. If you need that, then tell me right now, baby. 'Cause I wanna know if this is the last thing. Baby, let's do this right. Kiss me like you mean it. If this is the last thing. Baby, let's do this right. Kiss me like you mean it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. She come out in the late night, hey, 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 hey. Red bottoms always looking right, hey, 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 hey. She drop it low and don't no lows for the dodo, hey, hey. In the bed with the GoPro taking photos, hey, hey, hey. She works all day, she parties all night. She living life in the fast lane and the gas tank's alright. She's on her way, she's living her life. You can't say a damn thing when the pretty thing's alright. She works all day, she parties all night. She works all day, she parties all night. She works all day. She parties all night. Shorty, let me walk around. That booty so fat, it take a day to walk around. Shorty, can you turn around? Let me be the judge, coach an order now. Let me take your order now. Hey, the waiter at the table now. Hey, I took her out to dinner now. Hey, bartender, bring another round. Hey, baby girl got the lobster and the grilled shrimp. Yeah, I got the hot wings and the prime rib. Shorty say I'm flashy on my cockpit. In the back of my mind, I'ma get my money on her mind, that's a hot topic. She all up in the mall, passing hot topic. We walk up in the Louis store, she caught flash. It's rolling on my arm, it's from my. She come out in the late night, hey, 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 hey. Red bottoms always looking right, hey, 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 hey. She drop it low and don't no lows for the dodo, hey, hey. In the bed with the GoPro taking photos, hey, hey, hey. She works all day, she parties all night. She living life in the fast lane and the gas tank's alright. She's on her way, she's living her life. You can't say a damn thing when the pretty thing's alright. She works all day, she parties all night. She works all day, she parties all night. She works all day. She parties all night.
'Cause we won't lose it all tonight. I often thought I would tell you the things I kept inside, but you never came. And I began to hide. So many times I cried in vain. In my heart, my soul, I gave it all to you. So know that you are not alone. We are stronger than before. We won't lose it all, lose it all, lose it all. We won't fade into the dark. We won't lose it all tonight. No, we won't lose it all tonight. And you can shoot to the stars. You can shoot to the moon. I'm waiting for the light. Cause we won't lose it all tonight. You'll never know my name, and all the times I felt like a stranger in your life. I guess it doesn't matter now. What goes around comes back around. We are stronger than before. We won't lose it all, lose it all, lose it all. We won't fade into the dark. We won't lose it all tonight. No, we won't lose it all tonight. And you can shoot to the stars. You can shoot to the moon. I'm waiting for the light.
Hello once again, or at least once again if you were here yesterday, here at day 2 of the NA Relegations here at ESU League. I am a little fussy seal, joined once again by the lovely, the sultry Porosaurus. How you doing?
Sultry. Oh my
Sultry, that's
goodness.
what you are now. That
Oh
is
my
the best
goodness.
adjective for you.
Hey, I mean, I've had way worse adjectives hurled my way. I will take sultry any day of the week. But yes, we are coming in here for day 2 of the ESL relegations. We currently this. What do we want to talk about first? We want to talk about the playing path, or we want to talk about the current standings?
Let's talk about standings. We'll get to the game later, which I'm sure
Okay.
everyone's here for. But
Yeah, who cares about the game? Don't even worry.
yeah. So
But
the
okay,
standings right now, man. You get the top 2. I'll get the third one because I'm pretty
Okay.
surprised about that one.
All right, so number 1 right now after 4 games, Smoking Aces. That's going to be team number 10 on your map here.
The numbers you see
Yeah,
in game.
The numbers that you see in game. Say that's going to be team number 10, Smoking Aces. They finished first place in game 1 yesterday, second place in game 2, and then they kind of started trailing off a little bit. They finished 6th and then 15th in game 4. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can pull it back together. Meanwhile, Ghost Gaming currently sitting in second place after a rough first game. They managed to close out with 3 decent performances, a 7th, a 1st, and a 6th. But they also have 44 kills on top of that. So Ghost fragging out, and Ghost is going to be, let's make sure we get this right this time, number 9. There they are. Built the boys holding it down. So that's going to be team number 9 on the board. So that's a team to keep your eye on. But meanwhile, team number 10, Smoking Aces, already suffering a loss here as Soapy Licious is going to get taken out by Mr. Dark from team number 2, Urban Assault.
Lastly, our third place team currently is going to be Voodoo, Dark Horse of the tournament for sure. I've never actually really heard of them too much before. Yeah, Voodoo, that's who they are. And
oh my God, this circle.
They're at a 4th, a 3rd, a 2nd, and a 9th. So very, very consistent, even if they haven't been able to take a game yet. Definitely getting placements based off of their positioning and their their macro play more so than the micro. Ghost literally doubling them in kills, being only up 1 in placement. Definitely be looking to see how these guys do. Voodoo is the team that is currently at number 15 on your screen. If you guys want to see information for yourself, www.esculeague.com/tournaments/96. All the placements, all the standings, and all the team numbers can be found there, so you can follow along yourself on the website.
Team numbers are very, very important. But man, this circle, this is a very, very rough circle for a majority of the map. Right now, the only team that was kind of set up for a military is Pure. It's been dropping and looting up in the military base pretty much during this whole event. So they're going to be pretty happy about things. You can already see Balak from Ghost trying to make his way over early, which is a good move for them. We like Ghost. I like seeing them transition a little bit early to this other side of the bridge. It's given that they are in circle in Milta right now, you kind of have the desire to just kind of hang out and loot up as much as you can, knowing that you have the time. But Balak, Ghost, recognizing that they need to secure that spot on the other side of the island before anybody else does, and making that transition early. I like it.
And that is one of the strengths of the Milta area. Because there's a lot of problems on military islands, specifically getting across at all, and being able to be in Milta saying, all right, we can go anywhere on the mainland, essentially. We can either show up late, if it's far northwest, and if it's pretty much anywhere else, we can kind of center whenever we want, probably relatively early. And also, if we have to go military, we're right next to a bridge. There's no way that's going to be contested. Nikapa, though, from Prevail, doing a similar strap. It will be a little bit later, considering he came from, I don't even know, somewhere, but Balak's already here. So our pink boy from Prevail is going to be very, very careful if he doesn't get shot from Balak here. It looks like he might get lucky based on Balak's position. He's in the gas station right now. Might not be able to get shots as he goes by.
Balak wants to make sure he secures this area, though. He needs to get some shots across and make sure that Nikapa doesn't try to take over this intersection. But it looks like Nick is just going to go ahead. Oh, actually, he's making moves. This is interesting. Balak gets some shots here.
Trying to make the Uzi work out, but that once you get away from that point-blank distance, the Uzi's a lot harder to make work. This is a bit rough for Nikopah, though, because he came earlier to try to secure one of these spots, right? But now all of a sudden he's getting shot. He can't actually keep the bridge secure. So yeah, he has a spot on this side of the island, but he doesn't actually have a place or Mystery and Waldo to actually link up on.
Yeah, this is. It was very, very important that Balak get those shots off and scare Nikopah off a little bit here. Although,
He's
like
going
driving
back?
right back into him.
Wait, where are you going, Nikopah? Okay, so he does
Ooh,
take the
this
important
is aggressive.
3-story building. Yeah, before Balak gets back to it. This will let him get a lot of overwatch, a lot of sight around him. You're going to be able to stim up as well. So this is definitely a conscious decision he made, trying to make a play and definitely made it work. But at the same time, you know, you're contesting Balak. And what we were talking about beforehand, yesterday at least, Prevail has kind of been the punching bag of a lot of teams today. You know, they get pretty, they can kind of get pretty late in games. They position themselves properly, but they don't win that many fights. I feel like the mechanical skill is a little bit lower than some of these other teams. And which means if you're taking these 1v1s, that's probably when that's going to show the most, I feel. So I'm a little bit worried for Nikopah taking this spot right here.
Well, I mean, to be honest, this is kind of okay. Now he's getting support. Balak going to get support from Ghost coming via boat, but you can also see Jason KYS. They're also landing into Novo. Meanwhile, Pure going ahead and setting up shop at the top of the radio tower. So all of a sudden, this intersection has gotten extremely dangerous and extremely risky to go to. But that's good. I mean, honestly, that's good maneuvers coming out of the NA. Usually we don't see them starting to make moves until a little bit later, but these teams taking that advantage, making sure that they get these spots early. But unfortunately for Ghost, they kind of lost. They kind of gave up the intersection here to Nikopah. But look at the north side of the bridge here.
Yeah, it looks like a small hold coming out here for the guys on Fable. 2 players in the small dip. There is some pretty good cover. And looks like Chubba actually running into a lot of trouble, chunking out pretty hard. Probably isn't going to be able to get rezzed. PJ Renegade's popping some smoke around him, trying to see if he can move around a little bit at all. But nah, there's no way that Chubba Bubba is going to be able to get rezzed here. And now PJ Renegade is actually in a lot of trouble as well. Godku and Not Developer are coming in from the north, so not going to be alone here. But the cover that Zentrix and the rest of the guys on Fable have is pretty hard to break, Boro.
Yeah, this is going to be real. This is dangerous because now Anonymous is in a 3v4 fight, but they're going to also holding a position that's going to see a lot of it might see a lot of transition in, because one of the things that we talked about yesterday with the water being seeing the changes that it's seen, nobody wants to go water anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody is going to try to take the risk of going into the water and never being able to get back out is so high that it's almost worth taking the risk going over the bridge or making one of those other transitions. But if these guys get crashed here, this could turn into a third or maybe fourth party fight really, really quickly.
Overall, I gotta say is that if you're in this video game right now, then do not cross the Eastern Bridge. Just don't do it. There is one player, though, that's actually doing just that. Inferno RP, one of the members of Fable, actually crossing this bridge toward this whole situation that's erupting here at the crossroads. We do have Ghost performing up to the east close to Novo, and another team coming in on the west side. Nikopah still holding the cross section itself alone, but isn't going to be able to peek anymore the team up on the high ground. He can see in these windows, though, trying to get shots on these passing vehicles. Just only putting a couple of dents in the UAZ of Inferno, though he will be able to get away. The rest of his team, though, can't really say the same. No, they actually are disengaging this right now. Nikopah spotting this early, getting some shots out. He has a lot of time to shoot here, but it's not easy, especially with the new ARs. Doesn't land any more than one on the first player. Blazing able to get out of there, and the rest of the guys pretty much saying, all right, we're just going to go right on over this hill. But that is right in this Team 605 Gaming.
Oh, Inferno's taken extremely low by 605. Looks like he might have found a tree to hide behind. Can he get some support here from the rest of his squad? It looks like he will. Cross is going to have to back out of this at half health.
Yeah, a lot of rough spots here. Inferno's UAZ also going up in flames, so won't be able to use that to get out of there anymore. His teammates are up on that hill to the north side and providing some support. Reinforcements also coming on the eastern flank. So all 4 players working together here. No split holes. They're taking this threat very seriously. That being said, it looks like the guys on 605 Gaming mostly have retreated back into the house. They're not playing in the walls anymore. And we noticed actually that Pure, I believe, from the radio tower were taking shots. at this fight, shooting 605 in the back. So that's why they're not playing outside right now. It's too dangerous. They got to play inside. That's going to make it a little bit easier for Fable to move around, but at the same time, it sort of spoils the whole reward of this fight. Even if one team wins, then it's like, all right, there's still a team on that giant mountain over there that still has a better spot than you do.
They were very, very fortunate there. They were able to get their man out of that rough situation. Inferno has been able to get back with his team. So now they have the UAZs to work with. They can reposition off this if they want to, which they probably will, because Pure looks like they're putting shots down not only on 605, but on Team 7.
Everyone.
Team Fable as well. Look at all these boats. Inquisition now trying to transition over. Alex is going to go pick up his 2 teammates. Where are they going to go? There's not a lot of spots left to go here. The south is already occupied.
The entire time this whole shebang is going on the east side, the western bridge is entirely empty, not even being camped on either side. We don't normally see the bridge camp occur too much. The compound also that's in near the north side of the western bridge, also not in the zone, so isn't too much of a reason to be camping that. But it's like night and day. You're either in dead center of the circle or you're nowhere near it right now. And right now, dead center of the circle is just the eastern bridge, man.
Yeah, it looks like one of the things I'm kind of surprised. You usually see teams opt to take those mountains just above, kind of overlooking that western bridge. But I guess since that's on the edge of the circle, more of these teams instead opting to try to find some place towards the center. Well, hopefully, no other teams that are arriving late are going to try to push this far in, because boy, it is occupied. You don't want to try to mess with this at this point.
Prevail has been able to get all 3 players into that little 3-story there. So look, I'm liking their chances, but they do have a lot of trouble moving around at all. You know, you go east, you got the guys on 605. You go west. Wait, no. East is Ghost. You got west, Fable, as well as the guys at 605 Gaming. So 2 squads in that direction. Their best odds that they do have to move will be going south toward the military base, and even just saying that sounds a little bit awkward. Like, yeah, go ahead and go military base.
That'll be safe. It looks like this circle's about to pop, and it is going to go east. Oh my goodness!
Oh,
all right,
man.
so this is about to get pretty hectic here. Nobody should. This north side should kind of remain the same. You see, Team 11, Team Anonymous has made their way over. They're making their way towards the Grubby Dip. They're on the northern side of the island. Everybody else. It's going to be interesting to see what they decide to do from here. All right, so Team 7 already deciding that they want to move. They don't like being on the edge here. They're going to try to get a little bit farther to the east. But what about these teams in the compound? What are these teams going to do? It looks like Team 3, 605, already deciding that they want to try to move as well. So this could be really good and profitable here for Prevail if they're able to land any of these shots, but they're just not getting the angles right now.
Yeah, it looks like the ridges and the trees, the combination of those 2 factors, making it very hard for the boys on Prevail to actually hit these shots. Also, the angle too steep for Pure to get anything too crazy. But yeah, like you said, McCoy getting one of these downs. Mystery as well, playing very far outside, trying to get the kills. The sidecar stopping. The Dacia also very, very slow. Actually had a complete stop right. They're actually forced to dismount, and Mystery realizing that, saying, all right, I'll take a couple of free shots, but I will not take a 2v1. Nickapa is able to get Gold Shinobi, though, and J-Dog out of their cars. Frost, the only one left up, can't get the res either. That rotation did not work for 605 Gaming.
605 getting absolutely eaten alive. So is Grunto Onyx. They got involved in a very protracted fight here with Ghost. They lost Rewarding Basher. I think they had a down onto Decapolis, but he was able to get rezzed. But Ghost very, very split up here in this kind of Novo area. You see McCoy kind of holding the top. Profi was able to get the res onto Balak. I'm not sure if Turtle is still alive or if he might have gotten taken down. But it looks like there's only 3 members of Ghost here now having to deal with this aggression here from Grunto Onyx. And they have to also worry about Team 7, Fable. They were able to get the res as well off of the down that Profi got. So there's a 4-man strong team coming from the beach side that they also have to worry about. And meanwhile, GT Money, get money. 605 Gaming. I don't know if he's the last remaining member, but he is also involved here.
Yeah,
it's pretty intense.
At this point, you're going to want to clean a building and pretty much sit there for as long as the zone will let you. Moving around in situations like this is so dangerous. Ghost is holding It's a lot, Poro. They're very split, as you said. Balak and Prophet, though, are able to retreat the northern side, so they'll have to be watching that particular angle. I'm more worried about the one player off to the west that is kind of alone outside Novo proper, but he's kind of missed his opportunity. McCoy, that is, has kind of missed his opportunity to move in. There is all the guys in Squad 12 on Grunto. They'll be able to get eyes on him and watch him as he goes. Since you can't really make that push. Ghost is just gonna have to deal with this 2-1 split. Maybe they wanted it, maybe they didn't, but this is where they're at now.
Yeah, I think when it originally started, this is what they wanted. They wanted to have the 2-2 split with McCoy and Turtle. Oh, look at this getting lit up. That is Anonymous going immediately down. Team number 7, Fabled, picking up big kills right there. So Anonymous, I think that's them out. That's is that 4 in the boat.
Yeah, that's 15. Well, there was only 14 teams in the game. I'm pretty sure that was them. So yeah, Squad 11 getting wiped out of this game. No more Yellow Boys anymore. The Northwest side is now featuring the boys on Wildcard Gaming, the last one to the bridge. Some really intense blue taking stretch coming out from both Smoking Aces and Saferez on the far west side. That's the blue and maroon boys that just looked at this zone and said, "I don't want to be a part of it. I'm just not gonna participate in the game for the first 2 circles, using meds instead."
Speaking of people that don't want to be a part of it, Team 14, Murderous Plush Toys, just hanging out on a rock in the middle of the ocean. Absolutely not wanting a part of this. The rest of their team and team number 2 as well, Urban Assault, apparently just never able to find a vehicle. They try to make this transition a little too late, so now they're swimming as a 4-man across this wide open gulf. And as we know, swimming is very, very dangerous these days.
There's also the boys on Fable that, if they are able to spot that, have some very easy shots ahead of them. They have a lot more to worry about, though, especially with the zone popping, realizing that, yeah, the first circle went Novo, but this one isn't looking that way anymore. And for the 3 or 4 teams that have found themselves inside of the city, they have a big problem in their hands. You know, do they head south, try to sort of play both odds, or do they just kind of find a way to leave Novo?
What is Wildcard going here? They were trying to go a little bit farther south. Now they're getting shot at by Fable. So Wildcard coming in late, and they're deciding to come in late to this northern part of the circle, which is absolutely lit right now. This is a very, very risky call coming out from Wildcard. They're taking some shots now. Ooh, almost taking shots from his own guy. Tamai can try to land something here, but oh no, he's going to end up going down, and that's not a res you want to try to go for here.
Maybe he can crawl below the building, the vision there. Yeah, it's only a 2x on the mark for it.
Going to make sure it's not going to happen.
I try to find some bright sides. That Wildcard will be losing one to the northwest side. McCoy playing this split strat. Maybe it's not the most mechanical or the most strategically sound play,
I like
but
it.
he will be able to ruin someone's day. I don't know. His teammates actually are coming towards him. So this might actually be a decent play. And, you know, this means this team gets to avoid the cluster that is probably going to be Novo later on.
Yeah, I will say I liked the split from Ghost. I liked it a lot more when it was a 2-2, but when it was a 3-1, I mean, they really didn't have much of a choice. They had to. Now they're finally making their ways over here. But I like the split covering that street there. I think you get a lot of different angles. Having that high ground and being able to cover to the north and the west is really nice. But also having that flat top in Novo proper to kind of gain control over that area as well looks pretty good. And
This is unfortunate. It looks like the guys in Smoking Aces are having a lot of trouble coming in at the same angle that Saferez already did show up on. They're going to need to be finding somewhere north to pull up at. One player is scouting that in particular. Mar is trying to find his own way in while the rest of his team stays out blue tanking. Looks like Steezy BBO lost his life at some point before this, so Saferez really playing here with three. Spray gunning down Ron Paul. Probably a disconnect or something there. I'm not sure.
Oh no, he probably DC'd. That's bad news, Bears. So things just not going too great for team number 10.
Did he crash as the
first place team? I'm not sure. You saw that he took Ron Paul out with the AK.
That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, that's rough.
My bet for what happened is that he crashed as the driver, and Spray was probably forced to kill him, so he just didn't die to the zone.
So you get off the vehicle. Oh man, you hate to see it. It sucks, but okay. But yeah, I mean, Wildcard, they are currently sitting in first place.
Wait,
or not Wildcard.
Sorry, Saferez. Didn't they lose a player? Didn't Steezy BB show up as dead on the kill feed on the player list earlier?
He was showing up for some reason on
Because I see him right
on
there.
Smoking Ace's roster, but it wasn't Steezy BB that died.
Okay.
Yeah, Smoking Aces lost one player at the very, very beginning. If you remember, he got taken out. We
Yeah, I remember
caught him
that.
on camera.
Soapylicious.
Soapylicious. So for some reason, Steezy was showing up on the Smoking Aces roster. So that's some kind of in-game glitch, but
Well, it's good
weird.
that I'm not crazy, but that's gonna
It's
be a
okay.
little. That's gonna be a little scary.
Hey, don't count chickens
Hey.
before they
Hey.
hatch. Oh yeah. So yeah, we just got confirmation. Ron Paul lost connection to Steam, and Steezy was kind of, or they had to put him out of his misery, try to make it into the zone, but unfortunately was caught. Mars now still alive for Smoking Aces. We saw this happen yesterday, though. They have an uncanny knack for being able to keep one player alive till very, very late in the game. So Mars has a lot of weight on his shoulders right here, but he's definitely able to pull it off. We've seen it before.
New zone is popped, pretty much leaving Novo for sure at this point. So the guys that decide to put all their eggs in the Novo basket are going to figure out pretty quickly that basket's only made of Wickerman. There isn't much keeping that together. And Ghost making a play here. They're trying to get beyond the city. But before that happens, INQ getting a lot of downs, actually 2 downs onto Grunto after a very, very hopeful move across no man's land. 2 players going out there, leaving Jason, KOIS, as well as Get Money. Neighbor is in this building. I don't think that Jason even knows that Get Money is there. He's been camping for about
Get Money's been hiding out in the kitchen here, or the bathroom for a while. So Jason going to try to stay here as long as he can now as well. They're just going to go ahead and share this spot. Meanwhile, Ghost, during this whole thing, was able to get up to this building and is now taking the fight to Inquisition. They've already got 1 down. What can they do with this? And meanwhile, you also see Team 7 now moving on the back end of this wild card, or not wild card. I'm sorry,
Fable.
Fable. So Fable managing to transition all the way around. Novo is now going to be coming up behind Inquisition and third partying on this fight.
They're kind of forced to do this as well. If they can't wrap south, there's not enough cover, so they do have to take this fight very quickly. Inquisition getting railed on pretty hard as well by Ghost. They took a lot of damage from the high ground position, but they do have a lot of cover to work with. The spot they're in as well in the zone, so Ghost can't count on them being forced right out of that cover. With that in mind, Fable has to be very careful, realizing that, all right, we won't have free kills. These guys can just hunker down when we show up into this building. So they're going to need to take a pretty much a straight-on fight without relying too much on that third-party advantage,
I don't think Inquisition knows that they're there.
I think that you're right. So there's ambush potential here, but at the same time, Inquisition
Fable's taking shots
down.
Fable's taking shots from Ghost right now, but Inquisition hasn't even turned around to look at their direction just yet. And really, this is kind of what Inquisition needs to do. Is just put themselves into, Prophet gonna go ahead and take out a Blazing here, and this is just easy pickings for Ghost right now. As Fable is gonna have to try to make this open field to get to some kind of cover that might be in this next circle. I don't know how long it's gonna last. They're definitely not gonna get the res here on Blazing.
Yeah,
but, I mean, they're letting Prophet just peek this all day long with no shots coming back in his direction. They need to send something there to give some kind of cover. Okay, there they go. Make push his head back.
Smoke does come out, so the res is being attempted, but you know we saw this yesterday, I think, where the smokes were just missing a lot from Fable in particular. It doesn't matter too much this time. Zentrix is going for a body
Inquisition. Inquisition's wrapping around the backside here. Oh, they know that they're there as well now.
Blazing goes back on again.
Oh, that's gonna be. Oh, that's 2 for Mello.
Another for Alex G. Some nice headshots so far. It's Justin Furner up in the back line. He's hiding prone behind this shed. It isn't even quite in the zone, so he cannot sit here. Inquisition now fully aware of this particular spot. Just completely confusing around a spot. Fudge a couple of shots. Alex G taking some blue tank as well. But Inquisition coming back. Oh, Ballot getting the down to Fudge. Moving around in this opening is just a little bit too greedy from them. They didn't think that Ghost really did the damage they could. Even Wildcard on the high ground is saying that, hey, I see some free shots. Let's go ahead and see what we can get done. Trafella getting that kill with the SLR. Now, with only a little bit of movement, Inquisition took a lot of damage. Wildcard now in the middle of the zone, but I don't know if that's a good thing right now.
Inferno found the smallest corner of this little shack to hide in. The last remaining member of team number 7, Team Fable, Inquisition. You can see Will just watching. They know exactly where he is. There's only one place he could possibly be. And they can just kind of keep themselves protected from Balak or from Ghost and hold this angle, but they have to start considering what they're going to do next. They have to make moves across this street to get into this next circle, and Ghost is just gatekeeping the crap out of them. There's no chance really for them to get through, and you can see Profi already landing the shots down.
Yeah, good timing on that one. Inferno kind of stuck here, man. Like I think they pretty much hit the nail on the head. He's hit the move in literally 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3. The countdown goes. He will be going beforehand, getting
he's pushing.
Oh, this is perfect timing.
Perfect
finishing off Inquisition, sending him to 12th place. Even enough time to heal because he did move a little early. Problem is, Ghost heard that. They're definitely going to be watching here at their spot that's barely in the zone. There are 2 solos to the north. They got to move it around the same time, so that might distract them. But at the very least, either one or none of these players will be watching later.
Balak needs to be careful here. He doesn't know that there's those 2 solos. They're about to have to push out of that compound. He's just keyed in on where Inferno is. He could get shot from the side here immediately if he's not careful.
Well, he is careful. Inferno is spotted moving around a little bit. He's sort of bounding from cover, but yeah, there it is. The zone should be able to kill him here in a sec. Denying the kill points, realizing there was no hope. Both of the solos on the north side as well, saying nope, not even gonna do it. Blue taking for the mid-game placement
as long as possible. Oh, he comes out. GT money. Nope, not gonna do it.
And the play zone.
Jason is gonna go.
He's
gonna get in. Jason, the hero play.
Wait, is Balak under the... Okay, no, he's not. Wait, can you get under that? Oh my god.
He can, and he will. And I'm not sure if Ghost saw him come out.
They might have been able to hear him, but that's pretty hard either way. He'll need to find a sneaky spot to heal in the zone. Yeah, he will get one shot. He's pulling around here. Balak's behind the UAZ. Oh, I saw him. Oh, man. What a hero. What a hero.
Easy pickup there for Ghost. As they're now turning their attention uphill, they see Wildcard running across the wide open. The angle isn't quite there just yet. Can they?
It will be soon.
Traffel's going to try to get a shot onto Balak here, maybe.
Yeah, Kane taking a little bit of fire during this time. Traffelli does spot as well. Balak down the hill trying to take some shots. Doesn't hit any of those. Pure Taylor J on the far west side. Actually, he's still in the game. I thought he had left here, but no, he's still here. I think as the last player up on his team. Definitely hearing a lot of this go down. Mars as well from Smoking Ace is still in as well.
Yeah, Safer as the only 4-man squad still up, I believe, unless Murders Plus Toys. Yeah, Murders Plus Toys is a full 4, all sharing a shack right now. It's like, yep.
Yes, the good old just don't take fights and keep your guys up as score play.
This is a sneak preview of what a lot of hotels are going to look like. So I'm just letting you know.
Yeah. They do have a really rough spot though, because not only has Safer spotted them, but they are downhill. Very little cover to move up into the new zone. They're already popping their smokes prematurely. They're not going to be able to use those making the way into the zone. Meanwhile, Profi and the rest of the guys on Ghost making their move a little bit early. 3 men, almost as good as 4, so they're definitely still contenders for this. Safer though, these guys on the south side in general, they have a long way to go.
Safer as a Murders Plus Toys is involved in a fight right now. If any of these other squads that have already made it into circle can third party this, Wildcard has a pretty good shot at it. If they're looking, they don't look like they're looking right now though. They don't see Murders Plus Toys running up on their backs here.
Boone not getting a lot of help here, I feel. Steezy is kind of helping cover, but I'm a little bit worried for him. If they turn on him, then he might be into a 3v1 situation, while the rest of the guys here at Safer just kind of take the top of the hill. That being said, Safer on the top of the hill with the 3 men in a very great spot, even if Poon does go down. But look at this, Wildcard is prone. There's a full 4-man behind them. They don't even know it.
Well, the good thing for Wildcard right here is Murders Plus Toys most likely just going to keep playing this ridge as much as they can here. They might not push into this tree.
Shots from Ghost.
Get the down to Balak. That should be a kill too.
Yeah, I don't think that McCoy or Profi can even dare to go for that one. They're all way further back on that tree.
Actually
McCoy trying to put some shots out, but it's not for the way. Is he actually going to go for this res? Nah. He took a lot of damage for that poor. He's not able to get anything besides the loot on his dead friend. A couple players on wildcard are spotted moving out. Trapelli spotted not hard, but very low HP. Knocked to literally 1 HP. Does not go down. Not going to be finished either. Goes have their own problems. They're not going to be peeking for Trapelli. Wildcard in a really bad spot, but they're not dead yet.
And meanwhile, Saferez has moved to the top of this hill. Trapelli just going to try to go prone. He's going to get Mr. Fusey and get the kill. So that's going to be 1 down for Murderous Plus Toys. What is Protege and Major NL going to do? Oh, he's going to get caught from behind by Bar Dave, who's still hanging out on the backside. Can McCoy get this res?
Oh, Saferez stole that kill.
Oh, Saferez, you scumbags.
Oh,
getting
man.
in there with the KS, but perfectly timed. And now they have the high ground here. It looks like Profi might be able to get rezzed here by McCoy. The attention is kind of turned away. So
Look at that in the
Barday
kill
all by
feed.
himself.
Sharker W getting that nice Carnadiate headshot. 8 kills. It's looking like it's going to be a lot more pro. Like you said, they have the high ground that lets them maneuver a lot, as well as having the only squad that has a 4-man up. And look at that, there is still squad 14, the Murderous Plush Toys, that have a few players up.
Right on top of somebody here.
Their position is horrible.
Taylor J.
They don't see him, I don't think.
He's by the rock. To the left. To the left.
Take it back now, yo.
Oh, Taylor J. Oh, he did his best. He got one of them down, but was finished off. Now Mars actually causing some problems. He got flight. That's 2. It's Sharko W, the last one up. He's getting Mars is going to get taken out by Profi. So now this is 2 up for Ghost, 2 up for Murderous Plush Toys. And
they can get these reses, I think.
One still alive for safe res. Can they get an actual safe res here? They do get 1. The other 2 boys, I'm not sure. This is a 2v2.
They really need these reses. Playing this high ground spot, they have a really good spot on the high ground. The new zone does not have this high ground being, and they need to push into this. Protege realizing these downs occurred, trying to wrap around the south side of the zone, being a little bit cautious, you know, getting a little bit of loot in. Safe res, I feel like they had time to maybe get these reses, but they just waited a little bit too long for that smoke, and I don't think they will be able to get these anymore with the zone coming in. Something does get up. Will they be able to get the second one? This is really important.
It looks like they will.
Oh, that's really good.
It looks like they're going to be able to get them. So yeah, the
really
last 2 squads with 2 players, Ghost and Murderous Plush Toys, just kind of holding their position. Didn't really want to mess with it. Like it's not noticing the kill feed, but now they've put themselves from a 2v2v2 into a 4v2v2. So Safer is feeling really, really good about things. Protege. Oh, that's easy, Bunny. Manages to get Poonage from the prone position, but now the entirety of Safer knows exactly where Protege is.
But while that happens,
Ghost is now coming around.
Pushing from the north side, trying to take out the distracted Safer as Profi does not get it down though until now. What just happened? McCoy with a double
shot, 2 down? Holy shit, McCoy. All right, so Ghost is now in a 2v2 with Murderous Plush Toys after McCoy decides to go on an absolute tear and just destroy all of Saferez. Okay.
Oh, man. Protege trying to play a little bit sneaky, getting a couple of shots on to Profi. That's a great frag if he can make it work out properly. Cooked it a little bit right behind Profi. Getting the down 2v1 in favor of the Murderous Plush Toys. McCoy on the left flank with the Mark 14. We saw a lot of great plays, landing 1 shot. 1 more will do it on to Bar Dave. Not peeking, he's wrapping around this south side. What is Protege doing? It looks like he's wrapping around while this is going on. If McCoy gets caught, he's in a lot of trouble, but if he lands 1 more shot into Bar Dave, it'll be a 1v1.
Yeah, Bar Dave just kind of keeping McCoy's interest here. Oh, they're
good peek. Oh,
teammates wrapping around a little bit to the north side. McCoy could be in trouble here. If Protege gets vision, that's going to do it. Bar Dave going to finish him off in the 2v1, but McCoy, what the hell was that, man?
That was unexpected. Was what that was, man.
Out of nowhere.
Before that happened, Saferez was absolutely the front runners to take that game. They're the only 4-man to walk into the end game. They had the high ground. Yeah, they didn't have the zone. They had to walk into it. They had to leave their high ground spot. But between the situation with Poon going down, as well as getting shot in the back after they all went for that 1 solo player, that was exactly the right time to strike. And Ghost being able to eliminate Saferez there is what allowed the Murderous Plush Toys to say, all right, All the scary people are out of this game. They've taken the brunt of the damage. It's now time to swoop in, take a 2v2, and take, here in game 1, the win for the NA ESU Relegations.
I'm definitely going to have to go back and watch the VOD, because I swear to you, I heard 2 Mark 14 shots, and immediately 2 members of Safe Res went down.
Yeah.
So that was like bang, bang, dead. I have to go back and look at that. But if that was the case, then that is some crazy good shooting coming out of McCoy. But we got to keep an eye on our top teams going into these rounds, right? So Smoke and Aces were currently in first coming into today. They did not finish in the top 5. They went up pretty early, had a very rough round after some.
No, I think that's them in 4th, isn't it?
Is it
Smoke and Aces? Yeah,
Smoking,
that's them in 4th. Yeah, Mars
managed to make his way into 4th.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. Smoke and Aces, even with all the problems that they were having, still managing to make it into 4th place. So Ghost Gaming was sitting in the 2nd, and they take 2nd place here. Voodoo, not sure where they ended up. I think they ended up a little bit lower. Meanwhile, Safe Res in 4th, NRG in 5th, and Fable were in 6th at the beginning of the night. So these are all teams that we got to keep our eyes on as we move forward. But we have 3 games left. We're going to go ahead and load up that next lobby right now. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Lying in my bed, I hear the clock ticking and think of you caught up in circles. Confusion is nothing new. Flashback, one night, almost left behind. Suitcases of memories. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. Just say it's mutual. I wanna hear that you feel the same way. Tell me there's chemistry. Tell me that, and I'll be there. Be there, be there, be. 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 I'll be there. We don't get no sleep.
together. Wherever you go, you can count on me. And if you wanna fly, we can fly wherever. Just another day, we don't get no sleep. 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 If you wanna ride, we can ride together. Wherever you go, you can count on me. And if you wanna fly, we can fly wherever. Just another day, we don't get no sleep. If you wanna ride, we can ride together. Wherever you go, you can count on me. And if you wanna fly, we can fly wherever. Just another day, we don't get no sleep. 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 We don't get no sleep.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back here at Game 2 here at the ESU NA Relegations. I am Lil Fuzzy Seal once again, joined by Esquire.
Esquire? I think you put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
You know, I just didn't feel like including it. Nah, that's Porosaurus right there. So, although Esquire is on cams, by the way, so thanks, dude, for making sure that the thing actually happens that we're watching. We appreciate it.
I'm gonna call him by his real name, the real Esquire, on the production, on the cams, on the sticks tonight as we fight through game
Do you think
two.
he'd want you to call it
These
that?
relegation matches. I don't know.
The sticks.
The sticks.
Thanks for being on the sticks today, friend.
Yeah, yeah. It's the cam sticks, man. You can get
The
in there with
cams.
watching the cam. I don't know. Maybe he's an expert. Maybe I just uncovered the secret to great observing, and it's actually using an Xbox controller to observe.
Stick to an English degree, my friend.
Come on.
As a digital media major, I just find it. I just find it funny as all, Poro.
You never know.
I just think it's really funny. You're really funny.
Whatever.
I'm kidding,
Anyway,
man.
you can see Inquisition has elected to loot in Zarki. Good to see Zarki getting some love here. Usually never see anybody up there. And meanwhile,
Heck
Milta, as I called it production. I called it Milta.
You did.
You can see there's 3 teams all trying to land right on top
Oh,
of
it's
each
your
other.
boy.
Ghost. Yeah, Ghost usually prefers
I was talking
to
about I
loot up
Love
in Malta.
Molly's.
But what is this? No, team number 6, Fable, actually not Fable, Stallion, deciding to drop right on top of Ghost Gaming in Milta. This is a pretty aggressive play here coming out from this squad. I mean, everybody kind of knows now where most teams prefer to loot, right? So dropping on Milta is pretty much kind of giving a little flip of the finger to Ghost, saying, you know what, we know you drop here, we know you guys like to loot here, we don't care, we're coming in here and we're gonna fight for your spot. And oh no, look at this. I think if that circle is what I think it is.
Oh god, another one.
Another one. Let's get another military circle in
Oh,
here. This
boy.
time it is all the way centered on Sosnovka Island. It's not favoring the east or the west, really. It's just kind of centered up. So what are these teams going to do? And Ghost now, kind of, we talked about them a little bit last game. They transitioned a little bit earlier, trying to get a control over that crossroads area. But now they're not. They don't have the time to really loot up in Milta like they normally would. Looking Turtle he's got a vest and a helmet to his name. As they've kind of been forced off of their normal area by Stallion. So this is gonna be kind of interesting to see what these guys do.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot less efficient, and it's going to spend a lot more time getting there. It looks like Balak might still be in a decent spot to get there. Important to note as well. Where's Profi at right now?
He's in between.
Oh yeah, very far east.
Yeah, that's it.
Important to note.
His normal spot to drop, but since Team 6 decided to cause problems, he's now split up the team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Balak actually right here on the northeast side of the current zone as well. That's a very, very popular sort of pseudo bridge camping spot, and he will be able to get a lot of shots on passing cars from there. It's also in the first zone, so he could hold that if he wanted to. But if the play is to just keep the squad there, that will be quite risky. Less meds to blue tank, and they will not even probably. They will have to cross that bridge eventually. It's right there. It's going to need they're going to need to have a solution for that. And just sitting there and like hoping you kill everyone that comes across, and then that also everyone that's on the other side of the bridge already that you can't stop doesn't camp the bridge by holding the compound on the south side of the intersection. It's a lot to hope for. So
yeah,
I don't know what they're going to do.
I definitely don't think it's worth trying to hold a bridge camp to the north of the bridge right now. Like, you might be able to pick up a few kills, sure, but then like you said, you're going to be in a position where you still have to transition over to the military island. And if you wait too long, you can pretty much guarantee that your path is going to be barred by somebody. It's going to be gatekept by somebody. And that, the only other option really is to go into the water, which at this point we've discussed, it's basically suicide. So I think Ghost making the right play here, sending Balak across early, trying to find a spot to call home before the rest of these teams that have all come kind of to the northeast, northwest start moving and transitioning down towards military.
Bit of greedy looting here from Spray, from Smoking Aces, just walking into southern Georgia, which is currently being claimed by Saferez, and saying, I'm just gonna take some of this with me. This is a pretty decent play, actually, overall, in my opinion. It's not like Saferez is gonna have time to loot that southwestern section, so it's pretty safe loot overall, considering where the zone was. His team all left. I just saw one of their boys, I think that was Ron Paul, that had left to the far west in the boat, which should be going the long way around. Not exactly sure what the play is for these guys to all link up, but at the very least, they were able to find a gun. In the case of Ron Paul, like just the gun and nothing else. These guys are going a little bit low loot, low econ game, I feel.
Yeah, they have one member in from Moors. He might be saying, "Hey guys, this is free." Maybe coming on down. Ron Paul making his way down there in the Aqua Rail. And
Ghost moving across the bridge.
Yeah, Ghost. This is kind of what they needed to do. Unfortunately, Profi all by himself. There might be a boat there. He might be able to make a run.
No, he's adding himself to the convoy. He's just right in the middle of him. Look at this turtle.
Turtle right in the middle of everything. What is Zentrix doing? Zentrix over there doing flips.
It looks like Inferno might actually be trying to go for some cutie here.
Ooh, is McCoy waiting for him? McCoy is.
Oh, he is.
Don't shoot your friend.
Almost getting Inferno, but there's Balak in the way in the back line as well, but was not ready at all. Never mind. Scratch that. Eventually gets him with the AKM-416 amalgamation.
The AKM-416. It's a very strong weapon.
He shot a little bit from the far north side. It looks like he's going to be forced back at that one. I think that was on the dip.
I learned something new all the time watching these guys play, and that was something that I had never seen before. You saw Turtle as he was hauling butt across that bridge in the motorcycle, switch seats into the sidecar to kind of brake almost immediately and faster, and was able to hop out and start taking shots. So that's something that I've never seen before.
It's one of the only benefits of the sidecar, because if you do that on a normal bike, you die. Like you just careen into the ground and you die. You wouldn't want to do that. Interesting things going on right now actually is on the western bridge. A couple of teams making their way across early, or something is able to get across. Oh yeah, but the guys on Prevail catching Bullwinkle out in the open. He is going to be driving off, so almost going down. The boys in pink Prevail. They did send one player across. The rest of them going for sort of a soft bridge camp, try to control as much area as they can. But they do have an area and under their control across this bridge, so they're going to be pretty happy going later into this game. They also now have 4 right now, Poor. They played the previous game with 3, so this will help their odds going later into this game.
Yeah, it definitely does not hurt. And I think I'm not sure where that one player is. I can't tell if he's south of the military base or if he's on the hill. I think he's south of the military base. Okay, yeah, he's all the way over there. But yeah, nobody claiming the hills that I like so much just yet. They're actually about to run right into NRG here if they're not careful. Penta, you need to be careful too.
All right, Mystery making his way into the building, crashing right into it. Luckily, the always finding cover. Penta making shots. Now Mystery knows their presence. What are the teammates going to do? It looks like Nikopod just driving on by. Kid Cody does crash, though. Bit of miscommunication. It looks like Kid Cody, though, will make it to the building with one player holding an off flank. Not going to be able to be in position. That exact rock just exactly in the way. Not going to be able to punish Pentalaw's spot right here. We saw him pop a smoke at the right side. But looking at Pentalaw's spot, no one else from NRG is actually assisting in this push. He was the only one that was able to run up this close to him. His squad is back there about 150 meters. We'll be able to provide a little bit of support. But if Pentalaw goes down, that's it. He's out.
Yeah, this is, you know, he heard the engines coming. I think they might have been making their way there, and maybe Penta was just the first one to get there. But right as soon as he got there, you could see Mystery was crashing, and the rest of Noin's Narc now going down from Nikapa.
Down and out.
This is kind of a gutsy push by NRG here. They all 3 got in cars at the same time, meaning no one was left to give them any cover. So Nikapa was able to take these shots basically for free. Oh, and now Wooly going down as well. The Mystery. So NRG down to 2.
I don't think that anyone's really in a spot actually to get Mystery. I feel the res is coming out for Wooly there. Pentalaw is going to be able to get that one. And at this point, no one here from Prevail to actually contest this. So it's probably going to be Mystery going down. NRG essentially only making the trade. Cody as well, not going to be going for the res, simply driving away. Prevail disengaging from that fight with only 3, which is a bit unfortunate. I feel like, oh my God, they just, God.
Let your teammate know that you threw. He probably said, "I threw a nade."
That's so tilting. What? If you're Pentalaw. Oh my God. I'm yelling. I'm screaming in the dose grid right now. In fact, I've done this before. I got fragged with my friends. I literally left the Discord call. This is so tilting. It's not hard to call your frags. It really isn't.
You never know. There's so much communication going on when you're in a fight like that. He may have called it, and maybe it wasn't heard, or maybe called it a little bit too late, or he threw 2 back to back. So maybe Penta thought he was talking about the first one. And there was still a second one following up. So Ghost still holding this bridge camp. McCoy, you can see posted up here waiting for Blazin. Ooh, what's gonna happen? Can he get anything off of this?
Oh, they're crashing right in front of him.
Oh my. That is not what he expected, but okay.
And look at that, his teammates playing the off angle on the far right flank, putting some shots into that UAZ. McCoy as well putting a lot more damage in there on UMP, exactly what you want there. Run up on the right, take him down, and at this point, man, that's Fable out of this game in 17th place. Very early end for them.
That is bad luck for those boys. They ran right up onto McCoy, who was just waiting an immediate down and kill, and then the follow-up coming right through. So McCoy getting... his shots are landing pretty good today from distance and from close up. It seems like the gunplay is working for him. As you can see, now we have a couple of teams.
They're what we call in the industry good. They're pretty good this game.
Yeah, they're decent. They're mad decent. So we have one team that's making their way across the western bridge. Meanwhile, Team 10 here, Smoking Aces, after finally getting the loot up from Morris, they're going to take some shots at Inquisition as they pass through. Like a lot of these shots are landing.
No, I think Miller's gonna die to the zone.
He's so low, he's gonna go down.
Doesn't even wait for the zone. That will be him going it down and out, drowning in the water. There is one more player. These are very, very long shots, but they've still hit him once, surprisingly. Fudge in the back is clenching really hard, actually trading driver seats, letting Will get some bandage off. Very, very good play right there. Do not lose the speed either, so that boat is going to be continually hard to hit. There is still
Alex.
Alex G here, and they can definitely they'll be able to hear and see this boat. And the problem with this boat, Poro, this boat is pretty slow. Yeah, you can sort of bob and weave, make yourself really hard to hit, change your speed a lot, but volume of fire is still volume of fire. There can still be a lot of bullets that can head their way. But okay, looking at this, Smoking Aces do get in their own boat. They do leave, sort of interweaving themselves among that small aquatic convoy. But man, this is really late. Like this zone's gonna start hurting, Poro.
Yeah, this is a pretty late push coming out of these guys. You know, we did call out earlier the fact that Smoking Aces was kind of split up. They had to find a place to call home to really get to the opportunity to loot. So they ended up in Primorsk very, very late. Now they're kind of split here. They have to worry about looks like Protege taking shots.
What is
across
this
the
fight?
way? This Murderous Plush Toys. This late transition as well. So there are so many teams out in the blue right now. I think the Smoking Aces was trying to find a boat. I think they thought that there was a boat over here, but that might have been the one that got taken.
By Alex G.
Yeah. So now these guys there, you can see they're having to go back and claim their teammates. Meanwhile, Murderous Plush Toys has to figure out what their next move is because that western bridge is being camped by Anonymous.
Poro Spray took the boat of the guy they killed. They shot him off the boat and then they took it away from them. Really, really interesting stuff right there. I've never actually seen that particular interaction before. But as you said, yeah, some interesting stuff happening here on the north side with Saferush trying to make their way somewhere. They're realizing the West Bridge is being camped now. A lot of teams on that side, and they're trying to look for luck on the eastern side. But I can already see from this particular angle, I'm seeing a lot of name tags over there, both a wild card as well as I think that's Stallion Gaming in the purple. That two teams that are currently contesting the eastern bridge. And Saferes, this isn't a good spot to be, but it looks like they might get a little lucky. We do see wildcard right now hop into their UAZs, beginning to make their transition with the zone on their heels. Tumai's missing a wheel on his UAZ, yeah. As they begin to make their way across this bridge.
It does look like they're fortunate in that Ghost has repositioned. They're no longer holding this intersection here at the south of the eastern bridge. Meanwhile, team number 6 is in trouble here too. 6 Stallion Gaming swimming across.
That might kill them.
They're gonna have some issues whenever it comes time to, even once they get back onto the land. I don't know if there's any vehicles here for them to
They
take.
might be dead.
Yeah, this is the team that encroached upon Ghost's normal looting area, trying to pick an early fight, and it's not working out for them right now as they're having to swim across, and they're coming into circle very, very late, down to 2 players too, it looks like.
There's 2 significant spots that are currently taking. The first one is the military base. The second one is the southwest side of the zone. A lot of teams made landfall here, and pretty much every possible spot here is taken. And that's some significant bad news bears for the Smoking Aces that are coming on the southwest side. Look, even this little hill question mark, like it's a little like hedge with some trees and forests next to it, is taken currently by the boys in green by Urban Assault, and they are not in a hugely advantageous spot. There's Teal to the far east, Grunto Eastfort that are currently kind of, at the very least, Basher is leaving the combo and trying to get a little bit of information out here. Curious what he'll be doing, but he is taking some fire now, it looks like.
It was pretty aggressive positioning by Basher.
Yeah.
Here. Does have the scoped car. Ooh, he does get spotted out, though. You need to be careful here. Oh, gets it down, though. So that's going to be it from Merc X Live. So, but if you're Basher here, the rest of your team is still holding down the compound. You don't want to push this too much and get caught out, because if you get downed out here, you're not getting rezzed.
Like, I can appreciate the intent of the play, but this actually might work out really well for them, because look at this on the far west side, Voodoo shooting them in the back. By the way, I double checked the stores. These guys got 6th place last game, so they will be able to maintain their relatively high position. Probably not going to be sticking in the 3rd place, but definitely is reobtainable. It looks like we do see Basher getting a kill onto Merc, so continual damage being obtained here by Urban Assault. They're in a lot of trouble here.
Ooh, and Smoking Aces, you can see in the kill feed, also taking some damage here as they tried to decide to land, but they've landed right on top of Inquisition. Inquisition getting revenge for the player that got downed in the boat, as Murderous Plush Toys, not Murder, I'm sorry, Smoking Aces just comes up right behind them. But Inquisition not really pressuring this super hard. They're trying to get, I think they're trying to get circle position rather than trying to gatekeep this from right here.
Good game knowledge here coming up from Smoking Aces, knowing exactly where they can actually show up here on the western hills. They have a long way to run, though, but besides Inquisition, a relatively clear way in. But oh no, Prevail walking right into Ghost. They're crashing the ATC, but there's already people there. One down coming out. McCoy alone in this building, but Nikopot getting shot at, definitely scrambling for any sort of cover that they can. Receiving a little bit of fire. McCoy going for a play here on the right side. One player from Prevail making their way in. Two on the UAZ that remain do get down and finished now by McCoy. Cody does make it in. McCoy definitely heard that though. Trying to get some information, figure out where this last player is. Kid Cody holding a very, very sneaky angle, but with no first aid kits. He's going to be holding this at 1/3 HP. I'm not actually sure if Ghost heard him come in, but here it goes. Oh, yeah, they definitely heard him, gun him down without even receiving a single shot.
So bad luck for the boys from Prevail again, trying to transition late into military base onto a very kind of power area. That ATC is usually occupied, so trying to transition late onto that is definitely a risky play. They try to do it as 3, unfortunately for them, but I Love Lollies just destroyed his own team and himself. Okay. Yeah. So those were our boys that were trying to swim across. It looks like they decided that they're just not going to go down to blue. They're going to give the kills to each other.
Smoking Ace has been blue
Smoking Ace is in a lot of trouble here. So this was the good move by Inquisition, trying to taking preference over circle positioning rather than gatekeeping Smoking Aces where they first came ashore. Said, okay, we can do this. This fight's a lot easier to take when they're tanking blue and we have position on them.
It looks like they did lose one at some point during this play. They're walking into this with 3, but hey, that's a pretty good spot considering you're on the western edge without too many players.
They lost. That's the player that Smoking Aces took out from the boat.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So these are the last 3 remaining, but they're. I mean, I like the position that they're going for. They're going to have this entire hill to themselves. Unless Murderous Plus Choice comes up on it.
What's they say for us is they've been able to crash the confidence for it. They've lost all but Kuno. Oh god, we're talking about the end of this fight, and just in time to see Shadowburns take out one of the strongest teams in the league. I actually saw it in the kill feed previously. I think it was Shark that was able to get a vehicle run over on one of these players. They will be able to sort of recover from this, walk into the end game with 5 kills, and a couple of tread tracks on one of their faces.
It all came down to a 1v1, so an even fight there from both of these squads. Fortunately for Grunto Onyx, they were able to come out on top, but they did also lose their sniper.
Real quick forward, big fight happening here on the west side. Shots literally everywhere. I can barely hear. AK suppressive fire. It looks like a lot of downs coming out. Former Special Boys losing 3 on the west side. It's just Protege here. INQ Will playing the side. Alex G taken down from Wooly from the far east. I think third-party action coming out here. Not going to be able to get to cover there. Budget trying to finish it. Will do so, but still low. Wooly finishing that player off as well. The only one up is now Will on the far west side on the hill. Currently blue taking. You can't really blue tank this anymore. And man, NRG, they just put a huge damper on what was looking to be a really, really tense squad fight. But man, they just killed everyone who even took part in that.
Wow, we called it. We saw it was coming. We saw it happening. Inquisition was pushing up that hill right as Murderous Plush Toys was crashing into it. We knew that there was most likely going to be a fight there, and Inquisition coming out on top of it. But damn, if it wasn't NRG just third-partying it and just causing everybody problems. So they're still in circle now. They still get to gatekeep this as long as they want.
Military base looking a little bit spicy though.
In the middle of nowhere. The rest of his team still at the ATC.
And man, he's
hanging out in the plains.
I actually like that play. He's dead center right now. And if you're the rest of these guys that are in the military base, you're having a huge problem right now, asking yourself, how are you going to cross this field? This happens almost every time it's a military zone. It starts in the military base, but then it goes anywhere else. You got to deal with open ground in one of these directions. Ghost will be moving first. We see the UAZ of Turtle heading over here towards his team to reinforce this location. That's a very good play. There's a lot of people that are going to be about to be heading this way. But first, they got to deal with each other. And it looks like a wild card. The first ones that deal with this problem as Pure is to the west, as well as the remnants of or something that's Squad 4 over there to the northeast.
Yeah, we still like Pure's positioning. They've been here this entire time. This is your military loot drop squad in Pure. They're a little bit split up, but they're managing to hold so many angles, and they're not giving up any downs just yet. But that could change very, very quickly. This wild card is pushing in very from the east here. As a full 4-man.
It looks like that wildcard was attempting to try to get their cars in position for a quick escape, but the guys on Pure were able to sort of put a damper to that. That being said, Pure very split up. Only 2 players that are actually really only Taylor J himself is contesting wildcard. They can't quite know that, and they don't know how many players are over here. But these 2 players that are in the barrels, yeah, it's a spot closer to the zone, but they're not even engaging. They're even looking over here towards a wildcard. I'm a little bit worried about their spot for that reason. You know, wondering. Is Pure going to be able to walk away as a group, or are they essentially split up into 2 duos that are just kind of not going to be able to help each other that much?
Yeah, that's the thing that they do have to worry about because they're getting pressed from multiple sides right now. As we said, they did loot this area, so obviously, well, I mean, at this point, the game's a year old. I think we can pretty much say that everybody is really familiar with these areas, not just the ones that they dropped a loot at. But oh, look at actually Will. Will has made it all the way around here. The last remaining member of Inquisition still up, still hiding behind, but Pure Taylor J knows exactly where he is.
2 for 9. Rav up top on the roof of this building. I didn't even know you were just talking about game knowledge, but I didn't even know you could get up here. I've never actually seen this play, but they got a lot of guns on target. Getting shot in the back, though. Rav is probably going to be forced out of here, as he is going to be getting shot in the butt. Actually, Taylor J, though, actually pushing in towards Will, and this is a blue zone you really don't want to tank. Will might be surprised to see Taylor J here put some shots out, though, so definitely knows of his presence at the very least. New zone does pop, so both teams got to finish this fight pretty quickly, but it looks like it will be Taylor J finishing that, taking him out with a nice couple of shots.
Oh, and look at Ghost right in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
Right in the middle, and anything to the south of that wall, there's a couple of different defilades you can use. There's a little bit of a dip by the fence, but if Ghost is there first, they can kind of hold control over this entire dip.
This is interesting.
And if NRG
I like
made their way in on the end here, I like this play too. So NRG having kind of the same idea that Ghost had, just a little less centered up.
I really like this from NRG specifically because they're able to get to that dip with cars. Ghost able to do something similar, making themselves a literal fortress here in the center of the circle. Now that McCoy spotted this, though, yeah, they have a trench, yeah, they have the dip. Yeah, they're not going to get flanked because of these vehicles, but it's a little bit harder to peek out from it because you have to go from prone to crouch, and that's a lot of dead time, which you're just kind of waiting for your character to get their model ready to shoot again. It can be very, very awkward if you're holding this. Meanwhile, Ghost, they can stand up, they can peek around the UAZs however they want, but they can't really move around quite as much from their current spot.
And Wildcards managed to make it here to the plains as well, so Ghost needs to be careful. They're pinched on both sides. This is, they have players kind of split up. Proffy's trying to hold down the angle, see if they can get shots onto Pure. McCoy gets a down onto one of them. While Trafelli's taking shots from team number 3, 605 Gaming, who's coming in from the south. There's a lot of people coming in from the south here, too.
Yeah, that's why these car forts are so important, man, because these planes provide very little cover. You need extra to sort of actually make it workable. And now we're seeing one small mistake in the positioning of those cars can just end you. And look at that, Trafella getting knocked or getting taken out of the game by a car explosion, detonating that, getting one essentially free kill for that. Not like the spot's that good, but hey, they got a car for to back themselves up. Now look at that, smoking aces. The far south side is just spray, so delicious, probably not going to get res. That Ridge almost blocking his shots, but that will be Lata taking out smoking aces, knocking them out in 10th place.
Later. He says, later spray. Are we still doing Trick 2G things? Is it even in 2018?
I'm sorry, I don't get the source.
Okay. Well, we got one last remaining member of Grunto Onyx here, and that's Jason. He is going to do his best to try to get something here, but it's not going to happen as Team Voodoo is now pushing in from the south, but they have to be concerned now about 605, who's gatekeeping them.
It looks like
they will.
Yeah, they'll be able to find a couple of trees here in the circle, and 605 having their own car fort still, and as well as a couple of small ridges. They will be punished for pretty hard once again by the marksmanship of Prof. He was just saying, all right, peek, take a couple of headshots, then get back down, and peek, headshot, get back down. Just make everyone's days a living hell. These guys that centered here to the airfield, though, still feeling all right. But it looks like that NRG, everyone who is playing outside these this So Trendline has been eliminated, and so which is just K-Mine. And now up here is getting spotted out by the extremely impressive Anonymous.
Oof.
Finding his head, though, Will, not a developer, with that rifle, gunning him down and taking their cover for themselves.
Well, the problem here now is that this position is not going to be in circle here, and Ghost has a perfect position to be able to gatekeep this. Once the circle starts pushing in, they just got to make sure that they don't get any downs. They need to be 3 strong and be all kind of focusing on this one direction to be able to make sure that Team Anonymous doesn't run up on them, essentially. Pure still trying to make their way in from a long way away. Still 3 strong, but that is a long field to cross.
3 players, 1 helmet to go between them, and the zone's coming in and out. And that is an unfortunate time to take that damage. Pure going down to the almost to the zone, but they just don't even get to leave these barrels, man. 2 full squads spotting them out. They're making way too much noise and completely picked apart. That was bloody.
That was a big yikes right there. So Anonymous being able to pick up a couple more kills there, but they have to be concerned about how they're going to get into this next zone as well. You can see them, instead of playing the fence where they know Ghost is, they're kind of working their way in between these airplanes, trying to make it work. Didn't work out for Chuba. They did. Godku and Not a Developer have made it in. Can they get something down?
It was way too far.
Ooh.
I got
closer than I thought it was.
I got pretty close, but that's still way too far. I'm really liking Ghost spot here, man. They just have such a commanding spot. There's so many different teams. They've essentially been able to sit here with arguably the best cover in the zone.
605. 605
this
getting into vehicles, trying to make their way across.
Oh, but a really big push here from Voodoo as they go onto the remnants of this fort. J-Dog pulling car for it, but immediately taken down from a flank. Frost BP hiding in the smoke, but that's half the team down. Any hopes they had of taking command of the zone are now dashed. Petty Boss is running through the smoke. Bravery on this man. But as the smoke dissipates, Frost BP has vision. Petty Boss on the left, but doesn't even need to help out. That will be Balefrost taking that knock. And now Get Money, who try to make a car for it in the middle of the zone, realizing he's the only one left to walk away from that fight. Now trying to take some fresh car shots on the southeast side, but not too much pressure from Voodoo as this car fort, man, barely in the zone.
Ooh, GT Money landing that shot onto Balefrost. That is now 1 remaining member up for Voodoo. He should be able to get a res, but after they get the res, what are they going to do? The circle does have a little bit of favor to them, but that's wide open field in front of them.
Big story here is what's going to happen between Ghost and Wildcard, man, because their car forts they've been sitting in for about half this game are now finally out of play. Profi in a bit of a pseudo gatekeeping spot. He does have the long chest-high fence as cover, but it's not infallible. It's not going to be able to get him a sure win against these players. Also, at this point, Ghost pretty wide split. That can be that can help them with some off angles coming out here.
Yeah.
These players, though, they all got to move.
Much respect to 605 and Voodoo, but this is the fight that I want to see. Ghost versus Wildcard. These are 2 high fragging, high skill teams.
Nice.
Profi gets the first down on the Tumai. He's going to follow it up with the grenade. Is it going to land?
Oh, almost.
It sure does. And that's good. Rada with the skill, the steal. Oh my goodness.
Even in a squad fight, there's always going to be that one player that snags your kills. Rough for Profi, but hey, at the very least, there's one less player to your north that wants to kill you. He's pretty much the main threat here for Wildcard, between them and the zone. The smoke is popped for Pride, so we can't quite spot him through that, but as soon as the blue pushes over these players, they want to move in. Oh, the frag coming out here, forcing Profi a little bit back into cover. That might allow him to move. Yeah, we see Kane going to the far right side. Profi realizing that he can't cover all this, playing a little bit passive. He doesn't see Kane going for it, though. Some blind spray through the smoke does come out, not hitting anyone, just trying to hope they get a lucky shot. They do make it to the defense line. Very, very big success for Wildcard, but now they actually kill Ghost.
Really well played by Wildcard. These last 2 remaining players using the smoke to maximum effectiveness. Profi has no idea where these guys are. He knows that they're around here somewhere, though. Making his way as the smoke's starting to dissipate. He's got to make a move here. There's
he didn't get the first one.
Get 1 down. Oh, he thought he had the down. He thought he had the kill on the Pride. Oh, he thought he had the kill on the Pride with the first spray, and he's changed targets, but he didn't get all. He didn't get the down. He does still have McCoy and Turtle left, though. So Petty Boss and Leda versus Turtle and McCoy here.
Oh man, what a 2v2 we have on our hands. Petty Boss and Lada sort of trapped behind the only cover they have on the southeast side. They see a little bit of a cover they could bound to on the northwest, but it looks like that'll be McCoy's rather than their own. Crawling to it, looking away just at the wrong time. Look at that though in the minimap. They do get the new zone, but they're not going to be able to hold their current spot in it. I feel like it's really going to be down to these quick card 98 shots. Who's going to be able to pop each other's head and push in? That's going to be so important here, Poro. Oh, and that's it.
Oh, there it is.
What?
Just like that. Just like that.
What?
Turtle and McCoy put the shots in. They find the angles. They have the scopes to pull it off. And that is going to be a fat, thick 16 kills for Ghost. 9 of those going to Turtle and his impressive aim and eyesight. 5 going to McCoy. And look at the team of 3 here making it to second place. That's good
Voodoo.
news. That's good
Yeah,
news
it's
for
really,
Voodoo.
really good
Voodoo
from
has
them.
been really coming to play these last 2 days. They came into tonight sitting in I think it was 4th.
I think it was 3rd or 4th, yeah.
3rd or 4th, yeah. And then after they finished 6th in game 1, now coming in with 2nd with 7, 8, 9, 10 kills as well, with only 3. I think they might have lost one to a DC. But this is great play coming out of Voodoo here.
Yeah, like they haven't won one yet, but they're really due for one after how well they've been playing. Honestly, and I really like how they're always able to come into the end game with 2 or 3 players up. We don't see them just crawling in like we've seen Smoking Aces sometimes forced to do. Like, no, they always have a lot of players, just maybe not the best spot in the zone. So there's one of these teams that are really good at keeping each other alive. They just haven't quite gotten a win yet. But I'm getting the feeling, Poro, that before game 8 comes and goes, we might see 1 win coming for the boys on Voodoo.
Well, I would not be surprised in the least. We also have Wildcard finishing in 3rd, so that is a good performance out of them. They were currently sitting in 8th place before this game, so definitely needed to pick up some more points for those boys. Meanwhile, GT Money, Gold Shinobi, Frost, J-Dog, Duke finishing in 4th, Mr. Dark, Bullwinkle, Merc, X Live, and Boom Jitsu coming in 5th place. So we are going to go ahead and load up the lobbies for game number 3. We'll be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are back up with Game 3, or according to Esquire, Game 7 here at the NAESU Games. This is technically Game 7. We're on day 2 overall, but Game 3 today, but Game 7-8. 2 more games for these guys to figure out if they're going to be making it into the next split here at ESU, or if they're going to be knocked back down to the opens. I'm Little Fuzzy Seal, joined by the Chuckling Porosaurus.
Chuckling Porosaurus, indeed. And again, much thanks to Esquire for being our observer this fine evening. Also, thanks to him for calling out Seal that this is, in fact, Game 7 of an 8-game series, whether or not you like it or not. This is
I'm never wrong.
This is kind of a crap. It's a good playing path for all those George folks, all those Northwest looters. But you can see our Milta looters kind of in a rough spot here, as Ghost having to drop in military, trying to find a vehicle to get their way over to their normal looting location. It looks like they will find it, but they are going to be sharing the road here with, I'm not sure what team that is, but it's GT Money, J-Dog Duke.
605, I think.
605. Yep, that is 605 Gaming, who finished, I believe, in 4th place last round. They are going to instead elect on looting up at Novo, while Ghost just passes on by Turtle. We're gonna pretend like you weren't riding a motorcycle and just
wait. How do you crash on a flat bridge? What did you hit? What happened? How do you do? Okay, if it was okay, bikes are pretty bad right now. All right, they're really bouncy. It's easy to flip, but it's a flat bridge. It's flat.
It's okay, Turtle. It's okay. We're gonna
Where's
give
his
you the benefit
car?
of the doubt here. We'll say that you
What
were
happened?
maybe you were. Did you hit F while you were riding with Malik? No, he had. I think he had to have a car.
I think that's what happened.
Yeah,
maybe.
Profi giving him the honk as he drives by. You never have your map open while transitioning on a flat surface. Is a lesson that we've learned today. But yep, looks like Ghost will get to their normal spot. They will have it all to themselves this time. They will not have the team Stallion, I think it was, giving them problems.
What's on my god?
So they should be pretty safe here early.
Oh,
But look at this
that's not
circle.
military.
It's not military, boys. We're in business. All right, I love it. So we have right now, right in the middle of the circle, Safe Res looting up in South George. Inquisition has made their way to North George. Meanwhile, we have Team 16 doing a very far north split. Team Prevail here. Know one of your favorites, personal favorites there, Mr.
Boys
Seal.
in pink.
The boys in pink going to do their best to get looted up across this northern edge, but in a little bit of trouble
Wait.
here already.
Wait though, Cody, what's the plan? Why are you in Severny alone with a full other team with you? We saw one player, I think it was in shooting range, another guy in Zarky. This is a very wide split, and he drove here. Look, we can see the UAZ right there. And you know, if you're anonymous, you don't know exactly how many players are over here. But at the same time, you don't want someone to
Player 3 has entered. His wild card
way.
now coming in. Treffelli gonna solo push into Severny.
He's not even
Let's
going
see.
that fast.
Anybody shooting at me? Anybody shooting at me? Anybody shooting at me? No shoots. Okay, I think we're good. We got Severny to ourselves, boys. Come and join me.
Dude, anonymous bounces. They're out. They don't want anything to do with it. They were there from 2 solos.
So there you go. Kid Cody, you scared an entire team off of Severny and forced them to loot
With
Stalver.
a P92, by the way.
P92. There you go. There you go. So let's see. Everybody else kind of doing their normal thing. Team 7, Fable, doing a split loot around prison. Looks like they have, yep, they do have all their squad there. Actually, we got one team kind of pushing in on Milta here. I think that's Grunto Onyx. They're used to looting Milta Power. But look at Profi has made his way all the way over to Milta Power, thinking that it would be empty. But this is a really, really late push by Grunto Onyx to try to get to a looting location.
Alex is not in position quite to get a lot of shots here. Does get enough for one knock.
No.
Oh, maybe 2. Oh, not gonna be able to land, but with that 1 kill, man, they have been having trouble transitioning all series. It feels like
This is greed. This is not having a backup plan.
The second guy goes
Now
down.
Shadow goes
They're
down
dead.
as well. Yeah, this is not having a backup plan if the plane path doesn't go your way. Having some way to get over to your normal loot spot. You saw, Milta was kind of out of the plane path. Ghost dropped on Military Island, picked up vehicles there, and transitioned over. Grunto just now trying to find their way in. Oh, our hero, Kid Cody. Treffelli finds him. And kills him. But yeah, Grunto trying to push super late into their normal Milta Power location, and as a result, they're paying for it. They lose 2 players early.
Prevail. He scared a full squad away with the P92, but they will get pressured by the late comers to Severny. Wild could probably be a little bit scared by that, realizing they got 1 kill. Could there be any more? They'll probably be playing pretty careful, but little do they know the remaining players there will be in shooting range and Zarky respectively. Meanwhile, Smoking Aces, they get themselves a nice little crate.
Yeah, it's definitely not. It's definitely something you want to go for, and we talked about this before with the idea that maybe going for these crates now that they have the inclusion of the level 3 helmet. Are they going to get the Dream, the level 3 and the Sniper? Oh yeah, there it is. There it is, level 3. That is about the sexiest crate you could possibly get. I don't care how much you like the M24. You get the 2 8Xs, so you can give one to a friend. And you get the M24, and you get the level 3 everything, and a med kit on top to just put that little cherry on top. That's a great crate, Seal. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, that's a good crate, I guess. I guess. The M24 is just so boring. There's so many games where it's just like M24. It's like, okay, it's a great sniper rifle. It uses 7.62. You can snipe those heads, and that's really important now that there's less level 3 helmets floating around. But
That's why you
it's just
always
so
want to see those
boring.
snipers. And then the fact that you got 2 8Xs, so you got one for the M24 and another for a buddy, means
What do
that you can take all the level 2 helmets out that you want.
Waldo, what are
Waldo
you
knows
doing?
damn well that there is
What are
a
you
full team
doing?
here that just took out his buddy. Is going to go ahead and try to. I'm okay. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm saying he's on a Mission Impossible secret mission to try to get this UAZ.
Maybe. Nope. He's here for revenge, I think. It's kind of hard to tell right now, man. Why would you be here, Poro?
To get the UAZ. That is literally the only reason I would come here. You just saw your teammate get mowed down mercilessly by Treffelli in here, knowing that Wildcard is in here, and now you're going to push in. What are you hoping to get off of this as a solo player?
Revenge.
Revenge?
I think so. I think that's literally all I can ask for.
That's about all he's got. You can see he's trying to make his way in, but a lot of these teams have to start thinking about getting their transition on as this circle is now starting to collapse onto them. Fortunately, it's not a military circle for the first time tonight, so they don't have to worry about transitioning early to claim limited power positions. There's still plenty of area available in this new circle to claim. See some shots coming out from SafeRez as another team tries to transition through. Sorry, having a little bit of a muddy feed here, so I can't really see who's who. But I do believe that's SafeRez since they are in South George, taking shots across. But I'm not sure who they're shooting at.
Yeah. Discord is actually dying on us. Voice connections are probably a little bit laggy, as you can tell. Okay, it's coming back a little bit here on the map. So we can see.
Hey, we're back.
What do you see, Poro?
We're sort of back. I see colors, I see shapes, and I'm starting to see names. They're starting to make their way. They're starting to get their way in a little bit. But yeah, we have Team Anonymous. I know that they are anonymous because they are bright ass yellow all the way up in Stallberg, trying to get their looting finished before they have to transition through Wildcard to get into this part of the circle. Now, since we kind of have a kind of a jacked, a little wonky feed here, Seal, do you go to, given that you see this kind of split here, you have north and south of this river. Actually, you see a fight going off between Team 16 and Wildcard. So Treffelli is actually going to get taken out by your boys in paint. Waldo, his secret mission has proven successful. He got revenge for his fallen teammate. Can he get anything more off of this? He's going to peek around this corner. No, that is going to do it for him. But he does avenge Kid Cody. It was Treffelli that got the down and the kill.
Oh, what's going on here?
He's asking. He's like, "What are you doing? What did you think was going to happen? What did you think was going to happen here? You're going to take one of our teammates, and now you're going to give us all your loot." Okay. So yeah. So we have a. Would you go? How long would you want to stay north here, or would you try to immediately go south if you're one of these teams, kind of looting and transitioning?
There's two immediate thoughts I have here. The percentage play in my brain immediately is like, okay, it's going to go south. There's more land in south of the river than there is north, and you don't want to cross this river at all. You want to do that as few times as you can. The second thought is that rivers are almost always kept in for some reason. So with that in mind, like I'm thinking, like, if I'm in Stalva right now, if I'm in Severny, if I'm showing up late on that northeast side, then maybe, just maybe, I'd try to play it really nice and slow, figure out which one of these bridges isn't being camped as much, and try to just like play slow around that rather than crossing the bridge and scrambling for whatever cover I can find on the far side. Because look at this far side of the bridge right now. Look at the middle of the zone south of the river. Almost every single spot besides Everest is either taken or has someone that will be able to shoot them along that transition route. It's going to be so hard to get anywhere, so maybe you just shouldn't even bother.
Yeah. This is Ghost trying to make their way in. Profi is going to go ahead and scout out on this 3-seater, try to find a home for his squad. Going to be passing by, ships passing in the night. Oh no! He's going Profi's going to go ahead and drop into the... You know, he got really, really close when he switched over to that seat, he almost T-boned one of those trees. Where if you do that, you know what happens when you T-bone the tree in the trike, right, Seal?
What happens? Send me a picture.
It explodes so fast, so fast, and he got really lucky there that it didn't actually get caught up there. So he
Luckily,
does manage
switching
to
to that side
pick up
seat.
something here.
Luckily, that side seat also does stop the bike very quickly. It's one of the main features of that vehicle. Actually, all vehicles will actually do that. If you switch into a non-driver's seat, those things stop real fast. It's like holding the back button and the power brake at the same time. A lot of these players that blue team, though, will be able to make their ways in on various sides of the zone. And the zone that we had with the flight plan that we had wasn't too nice to teams that didn't drop late. So there's going to be a lot of guys coming in here on the south side. Like I mentioned earlier, probably scrambling for whatever cover they can. The southwest side in particular, near that hospital area, has quite a few teams already on it. More trouble on these for these transitioning teams, though.
All right, we see Team 14, this Murderous Plush Toys, making their way up to these yellows. It's a good spot to hold down if you're to catch teams out during these transitions. Yep, we're having a little bit more technical.
Speed's going up and down, boys.
Yeah, a little technical difficulty, but hopefully everything's looking good on you guys' end. We're trying to get it to where it's good on our end so we can tell you what's going on that you can't see. We're adding to it. So we're just trying to get things squared away for us. But while we do that, you guys just enjoy the match. Enjoy the match commentary free. All those Twitch chatters that are always saying, hey guys, just shut up and let us watch the game.
Oh.
You know what? We're going to let you do that right now until we get our feed fixed.
Hello everyone, I am Esquire. It looks like we have a bit of a feed issue going on for our caster, so I'm going to be taking over since my feed is A-OK. So, looking here on the map, we do have our blue zone shrinking in on one of our later circles here for game number 7 of this series. 17 teams still remaining, 54 players live though. And it looks like God Mountain getting a little bit active here, as Ghost is finding themselves dangerously nearby to, I believe that is Smoking Aces, as well as a few other teams. Vico taking some shots, getting knocked by Soapylicious. This God Mountain spot proving to be very deadly to any team finding themselves in the general vicinity. Continuing to watch as Ghost is spotting out all of these teams, continuing to collapse onto this mountain. So many teams having to transition off of that southern edge are finding themselves in between the lines of sights presented not only to Ghost, but as well as this squad of Smoking Aces, Mars, Soapylicious, and Spray trying to utilize whatever peak points they can get down onto Inferno, Zentrix, Vico, and the rest of team number 7 directly to the south. But looking over to the north of this, we do see that Safe Res, I believe, yeah, that is Safe Res, has taken up a little bit of shelter here in the crates area, trying to avoid any of these shots coming from around the map. But with that blue zone shrinking in on this circle, in just a few seconds, we will see a reposition have to happen for at least some of the teams currently on this map. A few teams still trying to transition themselves off this western edge. It's going to be Gold Shinobi, as well as Dose Duke coming off that western edge. But for the most part, teams fairly safe in their current spot. 16 teams, 52 players alive, and that blue zone is almost done with that transition. We do have our next circle coming out, and it's going to be centered directly to the northwest of God Mountain. So all of these teams here to the south of the previous circle are going to be very happy with their position, at least for the time being. Unless you are team number 7, still being gate kept here by not only Smoking Aces, but as well as Ghost. Ghost and Smoking Aces not really meeting one another yet on God Mountain, certainly aware of one another's presence, given the amount of fire coming off of these two positions. But it's only a matter of time before these players end up just creeping a little bit towards each other. Profi actually going out for a quick scout into the crates area, going to find himself in a lot of danger right now as team number 4 is taking pop shots at him. Profi popping off of the bike with about 30% HP to his name, going to be getting some meds off, hiding inside of the crates for the time being. The rest of his team trying to rotate off of that God Mountain position. We can see Turtle as well as McCoy coming in now on that bike, crashing into the warehouse. Going to be safe now, avoiding shots. But some of these teams from the north already making their way in. Pride and the rest of Wildcard coming from that North Georgia Pole spot in to South Georgia Pole. Jutsu and the rest of Team 6 in the cube area for the time being. Gonna have to rotate off of that spot as well, but it looks like Down Like Jamone has spotted out Profi. Gonna be taking some shots. Does he know that Turtle and McCoy have also crashed this compound, providing that support that Profi so desperately needed? Look at this position that Y-Cat's New Javoli has taken up on top of this. I believe you would, I guess, call it a crane. But a good height vantage might give him the shots that he needs to take on a Profi to eliminate that threat. But 2 threats nearby, the remaining members of Ghost, Turtle, and McCoy going to be there to provide that support and at least get those shots off and possibly a trade if that battle erupts. Blue Zone pushing in on our players. So pretty much the players on the east are going to have the toughest time here. We still do have Smoking Aces on top of God Mountain, and it looks like PJ Renegades and the rest of team number 11 have moved on to that eastern edge of God Mountain, spotting out Major NL and the rest of team number 14. I believe that might be the Sweaty Nerds coming off of their position to the west, or east rather, going to be spotted out. A few shots going out, but none connecting as team 11 would like. Shots ringing out everywhere, though, as all of these teams are finding themselves a little bit closer than they were in the previous circle. I believe Ghost connecting onto Y-Cat's New Javoli up there on the crane tower. Going to be taking him out, and Down Like Jamone is going to be a little bit too far to provide that support, and he's going to be a solo player trying to champion for his team and fight for that placement. 16 teams still remaining out of 17 teams. So certainly a lot on the line here if you were to go out right now. K-Mine connecting with a few shots on the PJ Renegades. Ghost McCoy finally taking that player Y-Cat's New Javoli out of the game. But God Mountain seems to be erupting as we have Ron Paul from Smoking Aces pushing up onto team number 11, trying to get those sneaky peeks off, utilizing that M16. No shots to be taken yet. He does not have a helmet, so certainly some very risky and possibly deadly peeks if he were to take him retreating back to his team for that safety of that squad death ball for the time being. This east side of God Mountain is just absolutely erupting as we see shots coming out. Team number 17 pushing up onto team number 11. Team number 11 not expecting this at all. Pentalol and the death ball of this squad right here now going to confront Smoking Aces up here on the hill. Smoking Aces has heard these shots. They know that something unexpected has happened. Not a developer still alive, though, for team number 11, trying to utilize at least some of these rocks here on the eastern edge of this mountain to get some covers. Narc being taken down will get the res off by Pentalol, so he's going to be low HP for the time being, but does have at least some cover to get those meds off. Next circle has presented itself, and guys, this is a God Mountain circle. The circle maybe that the players didn't want to see, but certainly the circle that we want to see. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath as so many teams are going to have to rotate off of these northwestern edges in the South Georgia Pole and Crates area. Smoking Aces in a good spot for the time being, but with it being pretty much the most centralized area of one of the later circles here in game number 7, they will see a lot of contact. It's up to them to eliminate those threats before they get too close to actually present themselves as a real threat. Not a developer hiding in that smoke, alive for the time being. 15 teams rather still alive, 43 players, so still a lot to lose if you were to go out right now. Profi taking some shots over by team number 6, having spotted him in that crates position. The rest of Ghost already trying to rotate a little bit closer to God Mountain where they had previously left, possibly betting that the circle was going to continue to go north rather and shift off of that God Mountain. It was certainly looking that way, however, did not end up going the way that they wanted to. Pride getting into the safety of this warehouse ultimately before he got taken down and that vehicle exploded. A lot of shots coming off of Safe Res FlyQuest something as well as, I believe that's Punich, trying to take whatever shots they can, and it looks like Sharko W connects with a headshot onto Kane. But INQ's Fudge seals the kill away and is going to be putting those kill points rather onto his team's totals. Jetsu and the rest of Team 6 now trying to rotate to the base of the northern side of God Mountain. Going to be taking Profi's attention. Shots coming out now. Lolly's taken down to about 20% HP, trying to get whatever recover he can behind the bush for the time being. But so many teams are going to be coming off of these positions, and it's only a matter of time before he gets spotted out. Poke shots continuing to ring out here on God Mountain between the 4-man squad of Smoking Aces and the 4-man team of team number 17. But look at this, Mr. Fuzzy HD, Bardave, and the rest, I believe just only Protege trying to push up onto this God Mountain spot as well. So all of these teams at the base trying to just sneak up and peek and get whatever opportunity they can to get a better position in this circle. Two teams already on God Mountain have been holding it for quite some time, but we've already seen what team number 17 did to team 11 when they pushed on top of this mountain. These two teams getting dangerously close now. An aggressive push coming out. Mr. Fuzzy HD leading the charge. Spots out K-Mine. Takes a burst of shots. None connecting. So teams are going to be aware of their presence now. Grenades will go flying. Trying to connect and put out that area of effect damage. Looks like it's a little wide to the right, but that's going to give Wooly the opportunity to spot out these players coming off the edge. He gets the knock onto Protege with the headshot, utilizing that scar beautifully for the time being. But Bardave gets knocked as well, leaving Mr. Fuzzy HD as the only remaining player still up for team number 14. 4-man squad of team number 14 still playing this very aggressively. Protege ends up getting picked up by Mr. Fuzzy HD. Bardave taken down. Still 2 men up for team number 14. Will they be able to put something together here, rather? Or will they go out K-Mine to the rest of team 17 playing this very aggressively, trying to spot out Mr. Fuzzy HD, and they do so, taking him down and out of the game. Protege left the champion, and he's not able to. Taken out in 12th place by team number 17. 11 teams remaining, 33 players alive, and we have absolutely seen this lobby get whittled down in the course of just a few minutes. Blue Zone done transitioning, and our shrink has come. The next one of the final circles of game number 7 presenting itself, still pretty much centered on top of this God Mountain, favoring a little bit of the northern side of the previous circle. So some of the teams here in the crates area, the South Georgia Bull spot, not as far of a transition as they thought that they were going to have to make, though. Looking here, this is going to be team number 15. Balefrost connecting onto Pure's Taylor J, just a little bit to the south of their position. They knew that they were going to have to push into this team number 15, but a deadly push indeed, as Balefrost is going to be holding these peaks, spotting out the down player of Taylor J, going to be taking the extra shots he needs to secure that kill and the points for his team. 4 kills already for team number 15, but 32 more players to present themselves for kills as well. Ghost finding themselves in a tough spot as McCoy and Profi getting knocked by, I believe that's INQ, directly to the south of them. Turtle, the only player left up for Ghost right now, in a very tough spot. Certainly a lot of eyes on him from several different directions, so avoiding these lines of sight is going to be very key to Turtle and the rest of Ghost's survival here. Turtle not opting to stick any of these reses yet, but the Blue Zone will be pushing onto INQ, so Alex is going to have to move out and push into absolute dead man's land, or no man's land, will you rather. No cover at all for him to have, but it looks like these defensive smokes that Ghost popped out is going to allow INQ to push up and get at least a more favorable spot inside of this circle, pushing onto the shack directly behind where Profi is bleeding out. Turtle was able to get McCoy up. McCoy popping the meds. Going to be able to at least work with something here, but 2 of the members now of INQ have pushed into this small little compound. I don't even know if you would call it a compound, but they're going to be spotting out other players trying to make this transition. Team number 4 going down. That is going to give Ghost Turtle the opportunity he needs to get a double kill and a squad wipe onto INQ. 8 teams now remaining, 23 players alive. Blue Zone now pushing in. This Blue Zone is one of the deadlier Blue Zones. It will be doing a lot of damage to any of the players riding the edges. Kind of sneaking in. Zentrix, a solo player for his team. Team number 7 trying to push around the edges of this mountain. A very dangerous spot for him to be in indeed, as we still have 4 men up for this Smoking Aces squad. They're making a case first place coming into this evening. After 4 games being played yesterday, Soapylicious, we see him sporting that M24, lost his helmet in the process, but smokes are going to come out to give Ron Paul that cover he needs for Spray to get the res. and keep this 4-man team running. We see a few downs going around the map, and this is certainly going to present some difficulties for some of these teams once this next circle comes out. And if it shifts to the northeast, I'm going to be absolutely, or northwest rather, either of those shifts are going to be absolutely insane for these teams here in the south riding the mountain. But it looks like God Mountain is going to stay favored, and so is Smoking Aces in such a good position. If they're just able to watch their flanks and pretty much prevent any of these positional pushes from coming out, they're going to be in such a good spot to get a good placement in this game. We do see something, though, coming out extremely clutch, getting a knock and a kill onto I Love Lollies, as well as Jutsu taking that team number, I believe that was team number 8, out of the game in 7th place for this game. Number 7, Ron Paul TV getting rezzed, already providing that extreme support for his team, getting a knock onto one of the teammates of team number 17, the other team here on the God Mountain pushing on that eastern edge. As we can see here, Smoking Aces just utilizing the highest point on God Mountain, trying to get any information they can, because this information will come in clutch as these later, I guess the last circles of the game will present themselves. They need to be very careful, though. The full 4-man squad of team number 15 going to be pushing up on this southwestern edge, but shots are erupting all over the place. It looks like Smoking Aces has full-on engaged team 17 directly to the east. K-Mine taking a bunch of shots from Ron Paul TV, an absolute fragger. But if we look at what he has to shoot with, it looks like he's only got 13 rounds left, no reserves of 5.56 for this M16. A few shots coming out, no helmet either. Smoking Ace has been involved in so many engagements this game that their attrition game is certainly hurting. Ghost McCoy getting connected on, as well as Turtle. And Turtle taken out of the game by Pentalol. So certainly all of these teams now, 6 teams still remaining, know of one another's spots, and it's only a matter of time before they're able to spot out and get the angles that they need to be a deadly threat. Puniji being taken down as well. Steezy BB taking McCoy out of the game. So many different lines of sights to present themselves, so where do you hide from? Trying to get away from one angle will present another angle to an entirely different team. We do see Ghost going out in 6th place. Profi connected on by Steezy BB. A res going off onto Puniji. Looks like he's able to get the res off, so that's going to be 4 men strong. As Petty Boss for team number 15 going to be making an aggressive solo push into this 4-man team of safe res, trying to get the peaks. Will he be able to? Spots out Sharko W, trying to utilize that DP28 to get the shots off. Takes 2 shots, doesn't connect, but is going to give away his position. Now he needs to watch his angles. Something's going to be coming up on the left edge of Petty Boss. Doesn't see him. Petty spots him out first, connects onto him, gets the knock and the full kill. CZBB going to be trying to peek and crouch along this edge. Blue Zone going to be coming up and certainly doing a lot of damage. Petty Boss just still holding this angle, waiting for the other player to come up. CZ takes him out of the game. Another knock, another kill for Petty Boss right there. An aggressive solo push is paying off in spades right now, but that's going to be Sharko W, the only remaining member of Safe Res, spotting out one of the other members of Team 15. Getting a beautiful Car 98 headshot onto Leda. Petty Boss is going to retreat up the hill to provide support to his team. 5 teams remaining, 14 players alive, as the next circle is finally going to shift a little bit to the northwest. Kind of taking us a bit off of the main part of God Mountain. Smoking Aces and Team 17 finding themselves in a position where they're going to have to now rotate off of these spots that have been so good for these teams so far. So Delicious and the rest of Smoking Aces is going to be pushing now, but Adam G33 spots out Ron Paul TV, takes him down. A trade coming out, though, as Soapylicious is able to return fire. Balefrost, though, all the trades coming out, damage left and right. 2 players down right now. Petty Boss and Leda still up for team number 15. Soapylicious, a solo player now. What was once a 4-man team of Smoking Aces has now been whittled down to just Soapylicious, and only 20% HP at that. Trying to retreat behind some cover, no helmet at all, but he's being aggressively pushed up. Petty Boss and the rest of Team 15 trying to get up on this hill, trying to get some support out to Adam G33. All of these players recognizing the strength in numbers. Snark and the rest of Team 17 coming around the edge, spot out Soapylicious. Take him out of the game in 5th place for team number 10, Smoking Aces. 4 teams now remaining, 10 players alive. And look at this, absolutely insane here. Team 17, Team 15 coming up right on top of one another. Pentalol trying to champion, unable to do so, gets knocked. It's going to leave K-Mind and Wooly to try to do something here. This Cliff game is absolutely insane. Wooly coming around, spots out Petty Boss, gets the knock on him. Leda trading with Snark though, but K-Mind trying to come up, spots him out and takes out team number 15 in 4th place for game number 7. K-Mind now pulling back up the mountain, and look who has finally come up and tried to show himself. It's going to be Zentrix of team number 7. Hearing all of this. Wow. That's going to be a squad wipe on the team 17 as Zentrix connects onto K-Mind, finding himself in a 1v1 situation. Sharko W for safe res. What we once thought was a very, very deadly position for him, not expecting him to get this far. He's now found himself competing for 2nd place, spots out Zentrix, and with a headshot from the AKM, takes him out of the game and secures a 1st place finish. A huge 1st place finish with, I believe, that is 9 kills for safe res. We do have Vico, Zentrix, Inferno, RP, and Ablazin coming in at 2nd place. Zentrix able to absolutely champion for his team, hanging out on that southern edge of God Mountain, letting all of those battles erupt, and then finding the right opportunity, the right time to get in there and secure that beautiful 2nd place as a solo player. Pentalol, K-Mind, Wooly, and Snark coming in 3rd place, and Leda, Petty Boss, Balefrost, and Adam G33 with a solid 4th place finish. 4th place finish with, let's see, I believe that is 13 kills. So a lot of top fragging teams coming out on top here in game number 7 of the evening. But with that, guys, we're going to put it to a brief intermission, see if we can get our normal, regular casters back in here, Porosaurus and a little Fuzzy Seal. And with that, guys, game number 8 will be coming up shortly. So make sure to continue to tune in during this short little break, and we'll be back to finish off the North American tournament here. I am the Real Esquire. See you guys shortly.
Time won't change these feelings, baby. Wish I was lying with you. I know it's been a long, long while since I held you. I'll be back in the morning when you won't be yours. 'Cause I go crazy without you, baby. I won't last another night.
Lightning and fire, don't wait for the thunder. Who's them boys? Everyone I wonder. How we hold the torch and I break down barrier. Anti civil, you them get away and suffer. There's something my way. Hold up your banner if you dance stop down. We carry the land, fella. How we out the bus every day. Are you planner? Listen to me clearly. Like with the flower. We are who we are. We me, who we me, who we me. Everybody RTC. Blocking everyone in the community. What we say? Everybody RTC. We are who we are. We me, who we me, who we me. Everybody RTC. Blocking everyone in the community. Come on in. Everybody RTC.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to game number 8, the final game of the North American Relegations here for the ESU League. My name is Esquire, and I will be filling in, unfortunately, our Discord feed that feeds the game feed to the casters so that they're able to call out the amazing plays going down here on Erangel. Fortunately, the feed has gone to crap, so I will be taking over for the remainder of the night, this final match of the evening. But with that, guys, Plane is coming out of that southeastern corner of the map just near Milta, going to be finishing its path up a little bit to the east of Zarki. So not a bad plane path to be presented to our players. We have had a very exciting series so far, 7 games having been played already. A lot of teams really coming out of the woodworks and trying to compete to secure the top 6 placements here in the lobby. We do have 7 teams, though, loaded onto the map, 65 players alive, and we already see a lot of teams landing in those static spots that we've seen them land in so far, but one team standing out. And this entire mess is going to be team number 16, Waldo Mystery and Kid Cody going to be hot dropping onto Milta. Ghost finding themselves yet another visitor in this area as Jason, KYS, and the rest of Team 12 have opted for that Milta power spot. Looking also around the map, we do see Safe Res going towards that South Georgia Bowl crate spots, as well as Smoking Aces sort of parachuting in, scouting it out. But we do see our first circle of game number 8 of the evening. A very, very northern circle, a little bit to the west of Stauber for that centralization, but we do see a lot of that water in play off of that northern edge. A lot of teams having opted to go for at least centralized or southern drops for those loot phase positions are going to find themselves having a bit of a transition ahead of them, as the blue zone will be coming out here in a few minutes to push onto these players and put a sense of urgency behind them to get into a better position. Popping over here into the South Georgia Bowl spot, we do see Sharko W and Puneji for Safe Res going to be looting up those warehouses in the crates area. Neighboring just to the east is going, or west rather, is going to be Ron Paul TV and the rest of Smoking Aces. These players dangerously nearby to one another. We do see 2 of the other remaining members of Safe Res going to be in the back 6 buildings. 1 in each building, and then Spray neighboring just to the west of that. So something in Steezy BB need to be extremely careful. Looks like Mars and Soapylicious have been fed the information that there are enemies nearby going to be taking up in these apartments for different lines of sight as well as vantage points. We'll see if anything happens here. Certainly these players don't have a lot of loot to work with in this early game, but these back 6 are known to at least have a few guns. Something unfortunately finding one of the poorer back 6 houses rather, and only getting a revolver, a 7.62 revolver. This gun certainly does put out some damage, but it is a slow fire and slow reload gun, only having 7 shots to land there. But if he's able to hit them, Spray certainly might be on a very deadly receiving end of that gun. Steezy BB going to be jumping out, getting to the same back 6 building as his teammate, currently in a 2-2 split. It is very curious as to whether or not the other 2 remaining members of Safe Res are going to push over to the west and provide the support. Puneji and Sharko W sort of coming over a little bit. Looks like Sharko W a little bit better geared than the rest of the players here in the South Georgia Bowl spot. The players have been spotted out. Ron Paul TV going to be aggressively pushing into this back 6 building. Steezy BB holding on to it with the BSS. As we can see, these players certainly not finding a lot of guns to work with. A crossbow and a VSS for Steezy BB's name. The players of Smoking Aces coming off of this northern entry into the house, going to be spotting out something. Shots going out through the window, going to connect, taking him down to 10% health. And then an ultimate knock from Mars with the micro Uzi. Steezy BB hiding out in the bathtub in the bathroom. Going to be trying to bait any of these Smoking Aces players into coming back and getting shot up. Ron Paul TV pushes back into the face of Steezy BB. AKM shots coming out and going to be taking Ron Paul down and out. But a trade ultimately coming back out from Mars as he connects on the Steezy BB and takes him down. Sharko W now left for Safe Res. Puneji coming off of that crates area to provide some support. A 2v3 situation now. These players losing a lot in the process. A lose-lose situation, as we like to call it, because not only are they losing players, losing meds, losing in that attrition game, but they're also going to be late into this rotation, and they are not going to have a lot of loot to work with. Looking around the map, though, for some areas that might be a little bit chaotic, we do see Pachinki, 2 squads in there, shots coming back and forth, nothing connecting yet. Ghost might see themselves in a bit of a tussle as well, trying to get into that southern edge of the circle. Team number 7 already on that edge, and McCoy a little bit split off from his team. I believe that's team number 4, a 2-man team right now in this lobby, going to be driving up, possibly might come into the path of McCoy here, but it looks like they're actually opting to take a bit of a western direction off of this building, so they're not going to be taking any shots for the time being. But more and more teams are now beginning to make their way to the northeast corner of Erangel to secure themselves a position in the first circle of game number 8 of the evening. But whether or not these teams are going to be able to get there with all 4 alive is certainly another story to tell, one that we will be looking for, as this blue zone will be coming out in about 40 seconds. Puneji still pushing on to this Smoking Aces squad, still 3 men up, a 2v3 situation. Safe Res finding themselves 2 men down early on here in game number 8. 17 teams still remaining, though, 58 players alive, as shots continue to come out all over the map. popping over here to Pachinki, where we have seen battles erupting for quite some time. It's going to be Frostbeat Pete getting connected on by Pure's Rav. Pure, having landed in this Pachinki area to begin with, is going to be sending Get Money 4 off to the west to find a safer position of his own. Being the kings of Pachinki, Pure is going to be very happy for the time being, but they are going to have to rotate off this position to the northeast to find themselves a better spot. Shots, though, coming out all over the place. Looks like Yasnaya has finally erupted in a battle. Team number 6 engaged onto team number 11. Godku TV finding the shots onto Jetsu, going to be getting a knock. But Bardave, a player who we saw go down possibly to a motorcycle mishap, is going to find himself being rezzed. Unfortunately, not a lot of vents to his name. Didn't even have time to recover off of falling off that bike in terms of health. Going to be taking some pop shots at team number 2, rotating off of that northern edge. We see PJ Renegades from team number 11 still lighting up the kill feed in that Yasnaya area. Shots going back left and right as only one player remains here in Yasnaya for team number 6, Lil Joker. Going to be trying to just champion for his team, see what he can get. But over here on the northern side of the map, we do see Pride and the rest of Wildcard collapsing onto team number 2, Tommy Boy, Mr. Dark, Boom Jitsu, and Merc Live here in this compound being aggressively pushed here. Pride taking up a little bit of cover on the edge of this house, going to be waiting for Trifoli to come off of that just northern part of this compound, pushing up with him. Boom Jitsu split across the road from these other 3 teammates, a little bit out of position in terms of any type of utility that can be supported. But Boom Jitsu certainly able to get those audible cues and provide at least maybe even some visual information to his team. As Kane is now spotting out Tommy Boy and some of the other players of team number 2, trying to take some shots at the M416. Not connecting yet, but this battle will erupt. But it looks like Pride actually spots out Boom Jitsu, takes him down and out of the game. This is now going to be a 3v4 situation. Wildcard absolutely dominating this compound right now. To my aggressively pushing down to the south, going to be entering the death zone of team number 2, and that is going to be exactly what that is, as Mr. Dark connects on to Pride, or to my rather, takes him down. Pride, though, ending up trading out a down for his own. Merc Live going down, so I believe we are now stuck in a 2v3 situation in favor of Wildcard, and that's going to be Pride. And huge grenades actually coming out as Trifoli comes in clutch, gets a knock and a full kill, and that's going to be the squad wipe right there. The grenade coming in clutch, securing the compound for Wildcard for the time being. Blue Zone is going to be pushing on to our players now, so we will see those final rotations be coming off of that western edge. Znark, the rest of Team 17, I believe that Smoke and Ace is still in that South Georgia Pole spot, as well as a few other teams having to make their way in. Not really putting a little pep in their step yet. Mystery and Waldo coming off of that eastern edge, riding the coast up to the north, going to find their own entryway into this circle, and for the time being, it looks like it's going to be a safe one. Ghosts now finding themselves in a position directly to the west of Yasnaya, directly on the hills, actually. The cliffs, rather, where the lake is. It's going to be McCoy pushed out a little bit ahead of the rest of his team, as well as Turtle and Ballot connecting onto the remaining member of team number 6, Lil Joker, and he's going to be out of the game. Our third team, rather, to go out. 14 teams remaining, 46 players alive. We've seen a lot of early game action in game number 8 of the evening. Would have it no other way to go out on such an action-packed game. It's going to be PJ Renegades and the rest of team number 11 now trying to counter and put some damage onto this Ghost Squad that they heard taking shots at Lil Joker just a few seconds ago. Smoke's coming out to try to provide Turtle and Balak the cover that they so desperately need. A knock, though, coming out from onto Godku, rather. McCoy coming over onto a flank from the northeast. Going to be spotting out the players of team number 11. He's got the height advantage. He's got the flank vantage. Turtle and Balak still capturing most of team number 11's attention, however, not anymore. Shots coming out, connecting on McCoy once, taking him down to about 80% HP. He's going to pop some boosts to get that heal overtime going so we can recover back to 100% HP. But we are seeing our final transitions now coming off of this western edge, and for the time being, looks like all of these players are going to be in cars, so it's safe for now, but not for long. Pentalol still left over here, just a little bit southeast of the hospital area. Doesn't look like he's able to find a car, but more and more shots now erupting. Turtle on the bike going to be aggressively pushing up to Profi. Profi having secured this compound. Profi, one of the ghost scouts that we see going out time and time again to secure a position for this team. We'll be seeing if it pays off for them here in the next circle. The blue zone almost done transitioning. Our second circle of the evening will be coming out in just a moment here. And there it goes to the northeast, centering almost directly on top of Stauber. Continuing to shift these players off of the west and southwestern edges into a further transition. It just doesn't stop unless you were already one of the teams here in the northeast. Bardave and the rest of his team, team number 14, going to make a quick transition, realizing that the early bird gets the worm in terms of compounds and positioning in these late circles, transitions being so deadly here in the competitive games for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Zentrix and the rest of team number 7 going to be already pushing on the eastern edge of Stauber, trying to secure their own compound, possibly pulling up to this right here, but it's actually going to be Zentrix having a bit of trouble here on this hill, a little bit of a spectator bug as well with that bike, but he's going to be getting out of there with his life, which is pretty much the best that you could hope for being on a motorcycle and having any types of stability issues. I think we all know exactly how that motorcycle can play a factor in these games, whether or not you like it. Team number 17 is going to be spotting out Adam, G33, and the rest of team number 15 in their own transition, taking some shots with the Scar, not connecting, but taking some damage of his own, about 50% HP now, as he gets cover behind this UAS Balefrost, I believe, of team number 15 was putting out that damage from the shooting range area. Balefrost getting connected on as well, going to be popping behind some cover to get some meds going, and the meds going he gets. Popped the first aid, recovered the health, and now resuming the peaks and the shots over onto team number 17. The southeastern edge of this next circle getting a little bit congested as the 4-man squad of Ghost is pulled up onto the 2-man team of INQ, Alex, G, and Will, finding themselves in a bit of a tough position. Not sure if they know of the impending doom coming up on the southwestern edge of their previous location. The hill, at least the height advantage on the hill, going to be providing them the cover that they need to retreat and pull further into the circle for the time being. But we'll be keeping our eyes onto whether or not they end up being connected on and spotted out by Ghost. But in the meantime, speaking of being connected on, Mr. Fuzzy HD spotting out Mars HD and the rest of Smoking Aces, traveling in vehicles directly up onto their position. The vehicles have stopped, and Smoking Aces has popped out of the car. Mr. Fuzzy HD almost getting the angles that he wants, holding these shots for right now, but grenades are going flying. Mr. Fuzzy HD spots out So Delicious. The shots are rolling. The AKM connecting once and twice. Mars trying to get around the corner, trying to at least connect onto Mr. Fuzzy HD and prevent his team from going out. Able to do so and get the trade, but that's going to be 2 men bleeding out for the Smoking Aces squad. Protege and Major NL dangerously nearby as well. Bardave trying to creep around on the, I guess, the left flank onto Mars, is going to get spotted out and taken down. But here comes Protege and Major NL trying to eliminate this final member of Smoking Aces. Spray almost done bleeding out. Soapylicious about halfway there. Protege up on the rock trying to spot out Mars. Not able to do so yet. Mars wrapping around the left, able to get covered behind the tree, but is spotted out by Protege. Shots coming out with the AKM for his own. Mars down at about 5% HP, gets connected on and finished off by Major NL. It's going to be a full squad wipe on the Smoking Aces by team number 14, and those shots are going to send Pentalol as well as team number 15 on a further north transition than they thought that they were originally going to have to make. That blue zone will be shrinking onto this circle, and will it continue to push our teams in far transitions off of this western edge? We'll just have to wait and see, guys, but it's certainly been a theme here for game number 8 of the evening. Now spotting out team number 14, who previously just smoked. Smoking Aces is going to be utilizing this hill, this height advantage part of the ledge here on the Stauber Mountain to try to connect on some shots. But let's look over at the rest of the map and see what is presenting ourselves here on this Stauber Mountain. Certainly a lot of teams taking up shelter for the time being. But that blue zone will be pushing our players from the north to the south as our next circle is out, still directly on top of Stauber, centered a little bit to the south of Stauber, but Stauber nonetheless. Ghost, a 4-man squad up on that northwestern edge of this next circle. They've got one player down like Jamono, team number 4, the remaining player for that team, just behind him, kind of patiently waiting, not taking any shots right now. Certainly wouldn't be advantageous for him to 13 players, or 13 teams rather, still remaining. So if he's going to try to vie for that placement for his team, he needs to not engage on anything unless he's forced into it. We are seeing some rotations off of that northern edge already from Wildcard. 2 teams, though, trailing behind. It's going to be Jason KYS and his teammates. And then team number 17, a little bit to the north as well, Pentalol Wooly, K-Mind and their other teammate trying to at least make a safer rotation, having spotted out some of these teams already going to the south. Going to be pulling off to the east. Pride getting some information from Kane that he spotted out a team trying to transition onto this. Tumai connects onto that Capitalist, but this is going to be team number 12 now coming up on these rocks, trying to get different angles. Will Shadowburns be able to connect onto Kane? He does and gets the knock. Unfortunately, Pride was able to trade out Jason KYS, the only remaining member for team number 12. Pride aggressively pushing to the north, trying to get the angle he needs to take out the only remaining member of team number 12, but gets connected on instead. Jason KYS, only 20% HP to his name. Still has 2 members of Wildcard to deal with. That's going to be Tumai and Trifoli still up, and certainly some very dangerous threats to be dealing with indeed. But that is going to be all she wrote as Tumai connects onto Jason KYS and takes him out of the game. Able to get the res onto Kane for the time being, and Trifoli coming up right from the south. 3 men up from Wildcard, losing Pride in the process, but still 3 men to try to compete for that first place. 12 teams now remaining, 36 players alive. As we will see that blue zone can now begin to shrink, and Ghost continuing to play gatekeeper to all of these teams on these western and northwestern edges, trying to at least not even get to a safe spot in the circle, but get into the safe zone nonetheless. Looking around the map, though, we can try to spot out some areas that are going to be a little bit problematic for the remaining teams here on Erangel in game number 8. Pentalol and Wooly making that far rotation off of that northern edge, going to be going fully around the eastern coast. Blue Zone now going to be forcing them to make a more centralized push now as they find a compound on the edge of the circle, just to the south of team number 7. So safe for the time being, but if team 7 continues to push down to the south, they will end up directly in the paths of team number 17. But it looks like everyone for the time being is going to be able to get safely in, unless Profi is going to continue to gatekeep team number 15 here to the northwest. Leda and Balefrost on the other side of this rock, trying to just hold on to whatever position they can. Shots coming out, going to alert Profi of at least someone's presence here. Leda and Balefrost going to be in these prone positions. Profi up on the rocks now, trying to see if he can get any peeks off whatsoever. Not fully committing to the peeks yet, but just trying to back and forth, seeing if any heads are going to present themselves. Looking again to the north, trying to spot out Adam G33, who's taking a very, very eastern push in relation to where his team currently is. Adam G33 thinking he is possibly making a safe move, but will find him a move rather, and will find himself pushing into that 3-man squad of Wildcard that has already proved to be very dangerous so far here in our final game of the North American Relegations for ESU League. Next circle coming out, going to be shifting over to the northeast of the previous circle. Team number 11 in a good position, as well as team number 16 for the time being. Team 17 and team 7 here on the eastern and northeastern edges, still pretty much on the edges of the circle as well. Not a far transition for them to make, but the teams here on the south and the west, as well as the north, going to have to find themselves in a bit of a congested area in terms of the different rotation paths that they can choose, or rather elect, to take here. We see INQ still 3 men up in this sniper tower, not in the safe zone for the time being, but they're going to be trying to get some information and see what is going to be the safest entry point for them to take. 40 seconds remaining until they will at least have to put something into action, as the Blue Zone will be pushing onto these players. But shots now beginning to come out all around the map. Team 17 having spotted out team number 7 directly to the north, going to be putting out some poke shots. But that's also going to be Ghost putting out some shots on the mystery here on Stauber proper. The top of Stauber still being in play for the time being, but Ghost Turtle connecting with a Car 98 headshot onto Kid Cody will be taking Team 16 down to 2 players for the time being, unless they're able to stick this res. They've got a little bit of cover to work with for right now, but Ghost is going to be aggressively pushing onto the Stauber proper. 4 men still up for this Ghost squad. We've seen what Ghost is able to do even when they only have 3 men up. So certainly a dangerous presence here on top of Stauber indeed. Pure, though, connecting with some shots in the kill feed, connecting onto Gotko, team number 11, getting the knock and the full kill. This is going to be Pure, who we talked about having a good position here in this next circle, already finding themselves in a little bit of conflict. Pentalo and the rest of team number 17 riding these cliffs, trying to get whatever advantage they can onto team number 7. Looking at this area on the map, it is certainly now presenting itself to us as viewers as to what these two teams are working with. And I believe the advantage for the time being goes to team number 17. They're certainly looking down almost like fish in a barrel onto team at number 7. That blue zone will be pushing in now faster on the western edges, the wider edges of the previous circle. Shots already coming out as Wildcard has spotted out Balefrost and Adam G33 rather. Going to be connecting with some shots. Tumai taking Adam down to about 10% HP. Adam retreats behind a tree, able to get the cover in the first aid off. But look at this. Kaint and Trifley going to be aggressively pushing up. Leda connecting with the M416 headshot onto Trifley. 2 versus 3 right now. Wildcard versus team number 15. Balefrost, though, taking some shots from behind, I believe, taking down to about 20% HP. Adam G33 pushing up onto this rock where Tumai and Wildcard had previously gotten a few kills, possibly even a squad wipe. Kaint going down in the process to Leda. Tumai now the only remaining player up for this Wildcard squad. Going to be wrapping around the right side of this rock, trying to spot out Later. He spots him out, gets the knock. Tumai only 50% HP to be working with. Trifley still going to be bleeding out up there. If Tumai is able to connect on the Adam G33 and take him out of the game, he's going to likely be able to stick the res and continue to be 2 men strong in this game. 10 teams still remaining, and that's going to be Adam G33 getting connected on by Tumai. Wildcard coming up clutch here in that engagement. The odds ended up being stacked against them, but Tumai coming up clutch, and it looks like he's going to have the time to get Trifley up. Actually, no. Very dangerous position for them to be in as Ghost. Ghost is now pushed up on the northern side of this hill. Turtle looking down, trying to be a deadlier threat with his Kar 98. We've already seen amazing shots from Turtle so far in this series of 8 games. Now it will be Wildcard being gatekept here by Ghost. Ghost playing just deadly threats to all of the teams in the nearby vicinity. Next circle coming out, and it will be going further north. These southern teams are going to have a hell of a time getting into this circle. Turtle connecting with a headshot on the AKM onto Trifley, and that's going to be McCoy finishing off with the M416. Tumai now finding himself again the only remaining player up for Wildcard, retreating back a little bit, trying to find a new position and more cover. But unfortunately, Balak spots him out with the SLR and takes him out of the game in 9th place for Wildcard. Pencil and the rest of team number 17 going to be trying to find themselves a favorable position in this next circle, and for the time being they have done so. Team 7 still being a little bit outside. Going to have to push into team number 17 to at least get out of the danger zone, the blue zone that will be taking away a lot of damage at this stage of the game. Shots, though, continuing to come out from this Ghost squad, and it looks like Mystery and the rest of Team 16 has a bit of a height advantage onto Ghost, so it could be a very deadly position for Ghost to be in, and it looks like Mystery and the rest of this team are going to be pushing down onto this Ghost squad for the time being. Ghost has a few rocks to work with, but Mystery peeking over with the AWM, spots out Turtle, misses the first shot. But will he have the opportunity to take another? Turtle knows where this is coming from, going to be taking a few peeks with that level 3 helmet. No shots connecting yet. McCoy now spotting out Mystery, going to be popping off some shots, I believe, with that M416 that McCoy's been so deadly with so far, already getting 1 kill. M16 actually. So one of the guns kind of receiving a heavier nerf in terms of ARs in the latest weapon balancing patch. McCoy at least, you know, putting a making a case for it right here. McCoy and the rest of Ghost still utilizing these rocks directly to the east of Waldo and down the hill from team number 16. Blue zone almost done shrinking onto our players. The southern edge of this circle absolutely safe right now for Pure and the rest of Team 5, but they will be pushing up onto Major and Elm Protege, the remaining members of Team 14. We saw Team 14 lose 2 members earlier in an engagement, so will they continue to be able to push into this? 7 teams remaining, 23 players alive, and it looks like Ghost finding themselves in a bit of trouble as Team 7 ablazing, and the rest of his teammates have now pushed up off of this eastern edge and a little bit north into the circle, going to be connecting onto McCoy. 2 men left for this Ghost Squad. Turtle and Balak up here riding this tree, trying to get some cover. Next circle coming out, going to be dropping directly on top of team number 16, the only team for the time being that's going to be in the safe zone. But that is not going to prevent other teams from trying to push up and get a position for their own. Mystery going to be pushing down onto one of the upcoming teams. Team number 17, Grenade, will be going out shortly. Will it have the distance it needs to travel and roll and put out the damage a little bit to the left of where a Team 17 player is being rezzed? It's going to be K-Mine. Down, Wooly trying to stick the res, but Mystery pushing down aggressively off of this western edge, going to be spotting out these players. Will he be able to connect onto Wooly? That's going to be Wooly connecting onto Mystery and taking him down for the time being. Unfortunately, he won't be able to get Znark up, and he will be taken out by a Blazin. 5 teams now remaining, 16 players alive, as we do see aggressive pushes coming off of these northern edge. Pure sitting very beautifully here on the southern edge and not worrying about anything. They have not had to see any shots or any players in their near vicinity. INQ still 3 men up on the western edge, safe for the time being. Fudge, the only player of their team, is going to be safe for the, at least right now, in the next safe zone. But we do see team number 7 pushing into Waldo, team 16, and that is going to be the last player. 4 teams now remaining, 12 players alive. It's been an absolute frag fest of a game, guys. So much action coming out here in game number 8. We've seen a few of the games, at least throughout this series here for the North American Relegations, played out a little bit slow. However, this game is certainly up the pace, and the ending of it will be in line with just that. 4 teams, 12 players alive, and let's look at what we're working with. A 3-man squad for INQ, 4 men still up for Pure. Ghost, 2 players still to their name, and then 3 men for team number 7 here on the northeastern edge. Blue Zone will be pushing in on this next safe zone, so we will see a new circle shortly. And with all of these players so close together, they certainly know where one another are, and if they get the opportunity, those shots will go out. Vico trying to get whatever peeks he can, trying to not stay in one place for too long and give away a headshot to one of the teams kind of pushing up on the vicinity. But a lot of teams playing the edge here. We don't have one squad pushing for these centralized locations, and with that, we will see some very hard rotations have to come out. Certainly the edge play can be a risky one when you have to move through so many different teams. Blue Zone almost done pushing in onto the circle. Our next circle will be coming out in just a second. And where will it go? That 4-man squad of Pure going to be pushing off of that southern edge, and it's a pretty centralized final circle here of the game. Rav going to be already inside, securing a spot for his team pushing up there, but Ghost actually connecting onto INQ off of this northern edge. It's going to be Balak connecting on to Mello. Another shot coming out. Balak again connecting onto INQ's Fudge. That SLR coming up clutch for this Ghost squad. Turtle and Balak making a case for their team, trying to secure another consistent finish for this Ghost team. Alex G trying to connect and get this res up onto Mello, but unfortunately that 2-man push of Ghost is going to be taking them out. A 2v3 situation for INQ, finding themselves out of the game in 4th place. But look at this, 3 teams now remaining, 9 players rather alive. A 4-man squad for Pure, a 3-man team for team number 7, as well as a 2-man Ghost squad. Zentrix lying here in the prone position, just pretty much biding his time, trying to patiently wait and let things happen around him. He is going to be in the safe zone for the time being, so why move when you're already safe? He's got a bit of a hill to work with as well, so as long as he continues to watch his angles, he will be good. Shots erupting. These players certainly know where one another are. Ghost going to be taking a bit of damage here from Vico and Ablazin, but look at this 4-man rotation coming from Pure. They're going to be coming off of this southern edge directly next to Zentrix, rather. Zentrix certainly hearing this. He's going to be in that prone position, rotating a little bit to the left. Trying to spot out and take some shots. Pure certainly completely unaware of his presence, and let's see, Zentrix going to be creeping around with that UMP with the red dot on. You know he's got it in fully automatic with the extended mag, 40 rounds of 9mm ready to spray out onto Pure. But Zentrix is just being patient as can be. Ghost coming off of this northern edge, though, is going to get spotted out, and Vico coming up clutch, capitalizing on that opportunity. Going to be getting a knock onto Turtle, leaving Balak as the only remaining player for Ghost. And then Taylor J being knocked out in the process right now. So 2 teams now remaining as Ghost gets taken down. It's going to be It's Imagine connecting with a headshot with the Mini 14 onto Balak, and out of the game. Ghost goes now a 3v4 situation. Rav pushing down onto Zentrix. Zentrix letting his team know that there is a very dangerous squad here on the southern edge. Circle favoring where Zentrix is for the time being. The backup now coming ablazing, and Vico coming from behind to provide Zentrix with that support. Rav still bleeding out directly in front of Pax. Pax now peeking around the right, trying to get a sight onto Ventrix. Now in a prone position. Here comes It's Imagine down the rocks. That's going to be Pax connected on by Zentrix again. Zentrix being an absolute spoiler here in this endgame finish. And that's going to be ablazing, connecting on to It's Imagine with that M416 and sealing Team number 7's fate with a first place finish in your final game of the evening here for the ESU League North American Relegations. Guys, an incredible set of games. I am so proud of everyone's performance. Congratulations to everyone here. But let me start off by saying the scores will be updated in just a few moments, guys. So make sure to take a look over on the website to see how these teams shaped up in their performance over this best of 8 series that we had yesterday and today. But let's look at here the results for game number 8. Zentrix, Vico, Inferno RP ablazing for team number 7, coming in first place. A lot of kills to their names. Zentrix with 5 kills. It's Imagine and the rest of Pure coming in second place. We've also got Ghost coming in third place, and then INQ in 4th place. So a huge finish for all of these teams, guys. Again, your casters throughout this North American Relegation series, this best of 8, they've been Porosaurus and a Little Fuzzy Seal. I just had to step in for these final 2 games because of a brief technical difficulty, guys, but it's been a smooth series here for the ESU League, and it has been an absolute pleasure producing and casting these games for you guys. So from everyone here at ESU League, from everyone involved, thank you so much for sticking around and viewing this wonderful series. Thank you to all the players for competing, and good luck on your future matches, guys. But that is going to be it here for this broadcast. I am the Real Esquire. Have a wonderful, wonderful end of your week and a very safe and fun weekend. But with that, guys, enjoy your games. Enjoy your games.